Chapter 2880. Disciple? I don't know. Tian-chan smiled bitterly. Tian-chan, you're not bad. Although you can't carry out that plan, managing and developing the Heavenly Elixir sect is a good way out. I have high hopes for you. Patriarch Xianxin said. Yes, Martial Uncle, please train me in the future. Tian-chan cupped her fists and said. And you can leave now. Go and reply to that Earth Diamond planet as soon as possible. Don't let him wait too long. After all, he is our ally, right? Patriarch Xianxin instructed. Disciple will go and find him now. Tian-chan quickly responded. Tian-chan returned to her residence and casually glanced at her phone. She didn't know why, but after returning from the trial, Tian-chan had a habit of looking at her phone. She felt unhappy if she didn't look at it, but she felt a little disappointed when she looked at it. In the past, Tian-chan didn't look at her phone even once in half a month. She didn't even turn it on because the Heavenly Elixir sect still maintained many ancient customs. If there was something, the disciples and servants would pass the message. Seeing that there was a missed call on her phone, Tian-chan was slightly stunned. She quickly checked it nervously. It was actually a familiar number. Did he call me? I was just about to call him and tell him about the pros and cons of this matter. I didn't expect him to call first. Thinking of this, Tian-chan quickly pressed the callback button. Tian-chan? Lin-Yi didn't expect Tian-chan to call back so quickly. He quickly picked up the phone. It's me. Hearing this familiar voice, Tian-chan had a special feeling in her heart. Are you looking for me? And are you okay? Lin-Yi's words turned into a question. And I'm fine. How about you? After Tian-chan asked, she felt that it was unnecessary. Tian-chan knew Lin-Yi's every move after returning to the Heavenly Elixir sect Inn. There was no need for her to ask again. I'm fine too. Lin-Yi said. You're not looking for me just to ask about this, right? Tian-chan suddenly smiled. What's the matter? I have something to discuss with you. It's about the nail of the 5 evils dragon that I obtained previously. Do you know about it? As Lin-Yi spoke, he explained Little Nine's condition in detail to Tian-chan. On your side, do you have the method to use the 5 fiends dragon nail? Want to know how to use the nails of the 5 evils dragon? Tian-chan's face suddenly revealed an extremely strange expression. She didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Yeah, you know? Lin immediately became excited. From Tian-chan's tone, it seemed that she knew how to use the 5 fiends dragon's nails. Tian-chan said affirmatively. The things on the earth attribute spirit beast must have a mate and a kind of medicine to be used by cultivators with earth attribute problems. This medicine can only be used by the Yellow Earth sect in the western region. That is the birthplace of the earth attribute. In the Yellow Earth sect, there is an underground cave that has existed for hundreds of millions of years. There is a stalactite inside, which is the essence of the earth attribute power. The stalactite that drips from it is the earth attribute essence liquid, which is very precious. Oh? You mean that I have to go to the Yellow Earth sect to ask for this earth attribute essence liquid? Lin-Yi quickly asked after listening. Yes, but this earth attribute essence liquid is very precious and rare. A small bottle can only be collected in 100 years, and it is only enough for one use. Tian-chan said. It can't be? So rare? Then wouldn't it be very difficult for me to ask for it? Lin-Yi couldn't help but smile bitterly after listening. Why were the scenes of looking for elixirs so similar? It was the same when he went to the Ice Palace. It is indeed very difficult, but this small bottle of earth attribute essence liquid is nothing compared to the life of the young master of the Yellow Earth sect, Tu Ba Wang. Even if there were 8 or 10 bottles, if you could save the young master of the Yellow Earth sect, they would give it to you without hesitation. Tian-chan said. Before, Tian-chan didn't know how to ask Lin-Yi to save Tu Ba Wang, but now it all made sense. Lin-Yi just remembered that the young master of the Yellow Earth sect, Tu Ba Wang, had been beaten up by Nai Peo in front of the restaurant. Tu Ba Wang isn't dead yet? He's using the Dahuan pill to prolong his life. Tian-chan said. He won't die for now, but he won't live for long either. Lin Yi took in a deep breath and carefully considered the pros and cons of this, but still said firmly, "All right, I'll help him. I'll go talk to the people of the Yellow Earth sect later." Although healing Tu Ba Wang would expose Lin Yi's healing abilities, it was nothing compared to Little Nine's life. Lin Yi had enough enemies now, and Lin Yi was standing in a position that was strong enough. Even if people knew about his abilities, it would just be another benefit for him. Right now, Lin Yi was like a porcupine, trying to find a balance between all the different levels and powers. He wouldn't take the initiative to stab you, but if you came to him, he would stab you. So for now, it was still peaceful. There's no need for that. There's a saying that going up to them isn't a business. If you take the initiative to ask them for help, they won't remember your kindness, but if they come to you, it's different. Tianshan said, "But how do I let them know that I can cure Tu Ba Wang?" Lin Yi was slightly stunned. "I will arrange this for you. You just have to wait in the room. When the time comes, you can make use of it. The benefits you get are not just the earth essence," said Tianshan. Thank you very much." Lin Yi was a little shocked. He didn't expect Tianshan to have such a great ability. She could coordinate the people of the Yellow Earth sect to find him, but thinking about Tianshan's background in the Five Elements sect, it wasn't surprising. "Say thank you to me. I'll kick you." After Tianshan finished speaking, she hung up the phone. Her face was a little red, and her heart was beating fast. Especially when she said the last sentence, Tianshan found that she was very nervous. Lin Yi was a little speechless. "Thank you and get kicked?" He hung up and turned his head, only to see Yang Qiqi staring at him. Lin Yi was a little embarrassed. He didn't ask about Lil Jiao before, and instead asked about Tianshan's well-being. Was Yang Qiqi unhappy? Lil Qi. Lin Yi didn't know what to say. Bro, Lil Jiao can be saved, right? That Tianshan sis you know is really amazing. She actually knows people from the Yellow Earth sect? Yang Qiqi looked at Lin Yi excitedly. Chapter 2881. But did Qiqi ignore Tianshan's last words? In fact, Qiqi really did. In her eyes, anyone who could help her save Lil Nine was a good person, and Tianshan being able to help was naturally a good person as well. As for other things, they were nothing compared to Lil Nine. "Yeah, I'll just wait in my room," Lin Yi nodded. "Then I'll go back to my room first. I won't disturb Bro's discussion with the Yellow Earth people. They won't be able to say anything with me here, will they?" Qiqi said as she stood up. "All right, you go back first then. I'll let you know if there's any news." Lin Yi nodded. After sending Qiqi off, Lin Yi sat on the bed and closed his eyes as he entered the jade space, preparing to train. It had been a few days since he'd last trained. He'd been busy thinking about how to leave the Five Evils wildlands safely. Zhang Naipeo had been by his side back then, and Lin Yi couldn't train in peace. "Hey, I say, Ghost, thanks for what you did before." Lin Yi didn't even get the chance to say thank you to that damn thing. He'd been reminiscing with Yang Qiqi ever since he got back to the inn. "There's no need for that. If I didn't save you, you'd be dead. Where else would I find such a good place to train?" The ghost said flatly. "You don't have to thank me this time, and don't feel like you owe me anything. It's different this time." "All right." Lin Yi was a little speechless. He didn't think that this thing wouldn't take credit for itself and push the credit away. It was still an upright ghost. "All right, I'm going to go back to sleep. You go do what you need to do, and don't disturb me if there's nothing important." The ghost said. "Oh, go back to sleep then." Lin Yi didn't really need that thing right now. He adjusted himself and started training. Yang Qiqi went back to her room, feeling like she was dreaming. Her meeting with Lin Yi was like a dream, but now that she thought about it, it was so sweet. Every time she was in danger, Lin Yi would appear and lend a helping hand. Could it be that all of this was arranged by the heavens? Lin Yi was her Yi. Today was the happiest day of her day. Not only did she reunite with Lin Yi, she even found a way to save Lil Jiao. "Oh, Jiao, it's your sis Qi." Qiqi said. "Ah, Sister Xiao Qi, did you successfully pass the trial of the Heavenly Elixir sect?" Xiao Jiao's worried heart finally calmed down after receiving Qiqi's call. She had been keeping track of the time. Chi-Chi had clearly passed the time limit for the test, but she hadn't contacted her at all. This made her very anxious, but she couldn't reach Chi-Chi at all. Chi-Chi had left her phone at the inn, and it was turned off. Gio couldn't reach her at all. She could only worry for herself. I didn't pass the test, because the rewards from the Heavenly Elixir sect aren't very useful to us. But the most important thing is that I found the nail of the 5 malefic dragon, an earth element. Chi-Chi said excitedly. You really found it? Lil Gio was a little shocked. She couldn't understand why a beast as strong as the 5 malefic dragon would give its nail to Chi-Chi. Sister Chi, you didn't run into any danger, did you? Danger? I did. Chi-Chi couldn't help but smile bitterly, but I managed to escape in the end because I met Linny again. Ah, you met Linny again? Did he help you this time? Lil Gio let out a sigh of relief. It seemed like Linny had a lot to do with Chi-Chi getting through this. Yeah, right, Lil Gio. Do you know who Linny is? Chi-Chi asked excitedly. Who is he? Gio asked anyway. It's a bro, he's a bro. Gio, do you know? I used to want to kill him like an idiot, but he's a bro. Chi-Chi's voice changed. You know? Lil Gio asked subconsciously. Gio, do you know something? Chi-Chi thought back to Lil Gio's tone earlier, as if she knew that Lin E was a bro all along. Lil Gio was speechless, realizing that she'd let the cat out of the bag. Lil Gio, you knew all along, didn't you? You've been hiding it from me? Chi-Chi's eyes went wide, unable to believe that Lil Gio had been hiding it from her all this time. She'd gone through mountains and rivers for Lil Gio, risking her life, and Lil Gio was lying to her? Chi-Chi knew that Lil Gio liked a bro, but she'd never been jealous, treating Lil Gio like a sister. But Lil Gio, Chi sis, I didn't mean to hide it. Lil Gio said weakly, I wasn't sure that Lin E was a bro before. I only knew that his name was Lin E when I checked his phone, but I didn't know if the Lin you were talking about was the same Lin. Plus, Ms. Zhou said that I can't reveal the information I'm in charge of. I see, all right. Chi-Chi didn't have any objections now that it was Ms. Zhou's request. The information Lil Gio was in charge of wasn't for the members who were out on missions, and the other members weren't allowed to look into it without authorization, including Chi-Chi. It made sense that Lil Gio wouldn't reveal it. Chi-Chi had grown up in a family with strict rules, so she didn't find anything wrong with Lil Gio's actions. Ms. Zhou wasn't Chi-Chi's birth mother, but she was her father's other wife. She was also one of the instructors for these assassins, in charge of hacking training. As a result, Chi-Chi had a lot of respect for her. Naturally, she wouldn't complain about what she'd said. Chapter 2882. It's fine, I understand. Chi-Chi shook her head. No wonder you tried so hard to make excuses for Lin E when I said I was going to kill him, saying that he was trying to save me. You knew all along. I wasn't too sure at the time. Gio said. Yeah, right? It's all thanks to bro this time. I'd have died in the 5 Fiends Wildlands, and I wouldn't have been able to get the 5 Fiends Dragon's fingernail. Chi-Chi didn't dwell on what happened before, and told Gio about what happened in the 5 Fiends Wildlands. Especially the part where Lin E roasted fish for her and saved her. Chi-Chi went into great detail, and Gio was quite envious. 7 sis, you're so lucky, seeing bro. I could only hear his voice on the phone. It's fine, bro promised me that he'll come find us after a while, and you guys can meet then. Let him see that our 9th princess has become a big girl now. I bet he'll be drooling. Chi-Chi said. Don't guys all like cartoon girls? Of course not. It's because of my body, I'm a little smaller. Gio said, a little embarrassed. The two of them chatted happily. On the other side, Tian-chan asked manager Sun to go to the Earth Diamond planet to see her. Earth Diamond star returned to the Heavenly Elixir Sect's inn. Looking at the unconscious young sect master on the bed, he felt extremely depressed. Even the Heavenly Elixir Sect's young sect master, Heavenly Silkworm Transformation, was helpless. Earth Diamond Star was truly helpless. Dragging it out day by day was not a solution. However, the Yellow Earth High sect was located in the western region, and the journey was long. If they had to trek back to the Yellow Earth High sect from here, the local tyrant would not be able to hold on. However, even if Huang Tugao sent someone over, it was impossible for them to have a way to save Earth Overlord. Their only hope now was that Heavenly Silkworm Change's last words weren't perfunctory, but that he was really thinking of a way to help Earth Overlord. Just as he was fretting over this, the intercom in the room suddenly rang. Earth Diamond Star froze for a moment before picking up the call. He didn't understand who would be calling him on the intercom at this time. In this period of time, Earth Diamond Planet had seen the fickleness of human nature. Their Yellow Earth sect had pissed off Zhang Naipeo, and the other practitioners were all avoiding them every time they saw them, let alone calling them. Therefore, Earth Diamond Star thought that he had made a mistake. Who is it? Is it the Earthen Diamond Planet of the Lust sect? The person on the other side of the phone asked directly. Yes, and you are? Earth Diamond Star was a little stunned. The other party actually knew who he was. Clearly, they were looking for him. However, who would be looking for him? I am the inn's shopkeeper's son, our Heavenly Dan sect's young sect master. She wants you to immediately go to the sect to see her. Shopkeeper's son said. Young sect master said that he has thought of a way. What? Has young Master Tian thought of a way? Earth Diamond Star was shocked and overjoyed. He was so excited that he couldn't even hold the phone properly. Thank you, Shopkeeper Sunday. I'll head over right now. Thank you so much. There's no need to thank me. I'm just in charge of passing the message. You should go quickly. Don't let the young sect master wait too long. Shopkeeper's son said faintly. Yes, I'll go right now. Earth Diamond Star said fearfully. After hanging up, Earth Diamond Star didn't have the time to be happy anymore. He didn't even bother going downstairs. He opened the window and jumped down, running towards the direction of the Sky Elixir sect. He was afraid that Silkworm Change would get angry. He didn't dare waste a second. Earth Diamond Star sped along the way. He was a Sky class mid-phase, and his speed was extremely fast. It didn't take long for him to reach the Sky Elixir sect. Under Little Peach's lead, he arrived at Tian Chan's room. Yellow Earth sect Earth Diamond Star greets young sect Master Tian. Although Earth Diamond Star was excited and wanted to know what method Silkworm Change had thought of, he still greeted politely. Earth Diamond Star, you're here. There's no need to be so polite. Tian Chan waved her hand and pointed to the seat in front of her. Sit first. We'll talk slowly. All right. Earth Diamond Star nodded and sat respectfully in front of Silkworm Change. However, he didn't dare to sit too casually. He stood upright like a primary school student in class. Then he asked carefully. Young sect Master Tian, you asked Shopkeeper's son to look for me. Have you thought of a method? I have thought of a method. However, whether or not it can be implemented depends on you. Tian Chan pretended to be hesitant. Young sect Master Tian, please tell Earth Diamond Star if you have a method. Even if we have to cross mountains and rivers, our Yellow Earth sect will find a way to save young sect master. Earth Diamond Star quickly said. And actually, you don't have to cross mountains and rivers. The person who can help you is right in front of you. Before Tian Chan could finish her sentence, Earth Diamond Star interrupted excitedly. It's you, young sect Master Tian? Earth Diamond Star stood up and knelt on the ground. He shouted, Young sect Master Tian, please save our young sect Master Earth's life. Cough cough. Tian Chan didn't expect Earth Diamond Star to suddenly interrupt and kneel on the ground. She was speechless. Earth Diamond Star, get up first. The person I'm talking about isn't me, not young sect Master Tian. Earth Diamond Star was confused. Young sect Master Tian, you mean, this person is also a participant who passed this trial. He's currently in the Heavenly Elixir sect in. Tian Chan explained. I see. Sorry, I was too excited. Earth Diamond Star stood up awkwardly and rubbed his hands. It's fine. I understand your eagerness to save your master. Tian Chan nodded in understanding. Young sect Master Tian, this person is? Earth Diamond Star asked impatiently. This person is Lin. Have you heard of him? Tian Chan asked. Lin? Tu's Wishing shook his head with a blank face. He brought two tyrant back to his room after being injured and didn't interact with other practitioners after that. Naturally, he didn't know about Lin Yi. Which sect is he from? What's his strength? He's a lone practitioner. Earth class late phase. Tian-chan said. As far as I know, he's the only one who can help you. But I'm not sure if he can. Oh? Earth class lone practitioner? Earth Diamond Star was curious. He can help me? That's right. Tian-chan nodded. Chapter 2883. Wait! Tian-chan called out to the Earth Diamond Star. Young Master Tian, is there anything else? Tuozuoxing asked. You're going to find him just like that? You don't even know his personality, hobbies, or needs, and you're going to ask him for help? Tian-chan shook her head in exasperation. If you mess things up, then your young sect master won't be able to be saved. Young Master Tian, you're thinking too much. He's just a small Earth-class wandering practitioner. I don't care about him at all. As long as I promise him some benefits, that Lin Yi will definitely come over to help, right? Tuozuoxing said proudly, even if he doesn't go, I can force him to. I may not be as strong as you, but I'm still a sky-class mid-phase. Oh, then go ahead. You and your young master will die here. Don't blame the Heavenly Elixir sect for not warning you. Tian-chan frowned and said coldly. What? Does young Master Tian want to interfere? Tuozuoxing paused, not understanding what Tian-chan meant. He was a sky-class mid-phase. How could an Earth-class like Lin Yi do anything to him? So he understood that Tian-chan was going to interfere. I won't interfere. I'm just telling you that a sky-class mid-phase like you is just a tool to Lin Yi, Tian-chan said calmly. What a tool? Tuozuoxing thought that he didn't hear it clearly. How is that possible? Naipeo's two followers, Mo Ba and Mo Jio, are both sky-class mid-phase, and both of them were struck by Lin Yi, one dead and one injured. You do as you see fit. Tian-chan waved her hand. I'm a little tired, I've done my best for you, and I've reminded you what I should. You can leave now. Don't. When Earth Diamond Star heard Tian-chan's words, he was frightened out of his wits. He turned around and knelt on the ground again. Young Sect Master Tian, Diamond Star was too arrogant. Please help me. Please don't chase Diamond Star away. This concerns our young Sect Master Earth's life. Earth Diamond Star was very shocked by Lin Yi killing two sky-class mid-phase masters, and even Naipeo's companions at that. This was unbelievable, but he didn't think that Silkworm Change would lie to him about this. There was no need, and he only needed to go back to the inn and ask Manager Sun and the other participants. He'd be able to find out what had happened. So, as shocked as he was, Tuozuoxing begged. If Lin Yi was really the type of person that Tian-chan was talking about, he might just die if he used force. Then what else do you want to know? Tian-chan asked helplessly. Young Master Tian, please tell me more about this Mr. Lin. I'll have a plan to deal with him so that I won't be caught off guard. Tuozuoxing begged. All right, I'll tell you then. Tian-chan nodded. Lin Yi may be an Earth class, but he's even stronger than a Sky class. Even I don't have the confidence to win against him. What? Tuozuoxing's eyes went wide. Young Master Tian? Even you don't have the confidence? Aren't you a Sky-class late-phase peak? That's right, I don't have the confidence. Tian-chan nodded. Hiss. Tuozuoxing took a deep breath. In his opinion, there was no reason for Tian-chan to boost others' morale and belittle his own. How could a cultivator at the peak late-phase peak of Heaven stage, the dignified young master of Heavenly Elixir sect, say that he was inferior to a Sky-class late-phase expert? The only reason was that this Earth-class late-phase expert was very powerful. Otherwise, why would Tian-chan say that? This was a matter of face. He had to admit that he was inferior to someone who was much weaker than him. He didn't believe that the Heavenly Silkworm transformation would joke about such a thing. Wouldn't that affect his reputation? However, there was a situation that Tuozuoxing didn't expect, and that was Tian-chan. Don't underestimate Lin Yi. Although he is a wandering cultivator, the eldest grandson of the ancient Feng family, Feng Shipian, and the direct disciple of the Holy Fist Palace, Li Siba, are all his underlings. In the hidden world, he has many underlings. So, Although he is a wandering cultivator in name, he actually has a very powerful force behind him. Tian-chan introduced. So powerful! Tozuoxing broke out in a cold sweat, thinking that it was fortunate that he didn't ask for help from Lin. Otherwise, if he said something wrong and Lin didn't help him, what would happen to the young master Tozuoxing if he killed him? No wonder Zhang Naipeo didn't dare to cause trouble for Lin Yi after losing 2 of his Sky-class followers. He didn't even dare to make a fart after coming back for so long, so this was the reason. However, the more it was like this, the more it showed how powerful Lin Yi was. Tozuoxing was injured by Zhang Naipeo, and Lin Yi was more powerful than Zhang Naipeo, so there was a high chance that he could treat Tozuoxing's injury. Yes, Lin Yi's temper is a bit strange. He doesn't help people who have nothing to do with him, but if his underlings and family are in trouble, he will not shirk his responsibility. Tian-chan continued, moreover, the more you force him, the more he won't do what you say. As for how to beg him, you have to think of a way yourself. I see. Tozuoxing hesitated slightly. He didn't understand what Tian-chan was hinting at. Could it be that in order to treat Tozuoxing's injury, Huang Tugao had to recognize Lin Yi as his boss? But wasn't it a bit too strange for a big Huang sect to recognize Lin Yi, a wandering cultivator, as their boss? Moreover, this wasn't something he could decide. He had to listen to Tozuoxing. Alright, this is as far as I can help you, the rest is up to you. Tian-chan said. Thank you, young Master Tian. Tozuoxing will remember this kindness. Once Tozuoxing is saved, our Huang Tugao sect will treat the entire Sky Elixir sect as our benefactor. Tozuoxing quickly said. Tian-chan raised an eyebrow and said faintly, I'm telling you this in private, don't spread it around. Tozuoxing wasn't stupid. He immediately understood what Tian-chan meant. I understand, our Huang Tugao sect will treat young Master Tian as our benefactor. If there's anything we can use, we will listen to you at any time. Alright, you can go. Tian-chan nodded and said. Chapter 2884. Shopkeeper's son paused. Wasn't this Earth Diamond Star just trying to find something to talk about? This was an order from young Master Tian. How could he dare to not inform him? However, he still put on a smile and said, this is what I should do. Right, do you know Lin Yi's room number? Earth Diamond Star asked. I do, I'll check for you. The room number of the participant wasn't a secret, and Shopkeeper's son didn't need to hide it. Very quickly, he found Lin Yi's room number and gave it to Earth Diamond Star. Thank you, Shopkeeper Sunday. Right, I heard that Lin Yi and Zhang Naipeo had some conflict? Earth Diamond Star probed. It's like this. Shopkeeper's son had received the order from Silkworm Transformation long ago, and as for Earth Diamond Star's questions, he only needed to answer truthfully. And so, Shopkeeper's son told Earth Diamond Star about the conflict between Lin Yi and Zhang Naipeo in detail. When he heard that Lin Yi had crippled Emojio, and then returned with Zhang Naipeo, Earth Diamond Star pondered. Could it be that Zhang Naipeo had admitted defeat? Then from the looks of it, begging Lin Yi was the best way. With that thought, Earth Diamond Star said, Thank you, Shopkeeper Sunday. I'll go upstairs first, you can continue with your work. All right. Shopkeeper's son nodded casually. Earth Diamond Star didn't go back to visit Earth Tyrant, but went straight to Lin Yi's room. Standing in front of Lin Yi's room, he reached his hand out, but didn't dare knock on the door. He felt a huge pressure in his heart. Although the person inside was an Earth class, he had the strength to kill a Sky class in a second. Earth Diamond Star didn't dare to act recklessly. Finally, after taking a few deep breaths, he bravely knocked on the door and waited for the person inside to reply. Who is it? Come in. The door isn't locked. Although Lin Yi replied to the Earth Diamond Planet quickly, those few seconds felt like a century to the Earth Diamond Planet. Carefully pushing open the door and entering the room, Earth Diamond Star bowed deeply. I am Earth Diamond Star, a follower of Earth Tyrant Young Sect Master from the Yellow Earth High Sect. Greetings, Senior Lin. Seeing that the Earth Diamond Star had taken the initiative to greet him respectfully, Lin Yi knew that this was the result of Tian-chan's mediation. Although he didn't know how Tian-chan did it, he still said calmly, Oh, So you are the Earth Diamond Star from the Yellow Earth sect. It's me. Has Senior Lin heard of me? Earth Diamond Star was delighted and nodded. Never heard of it. Lin Yi shook his head. Earth Diamond Star felt a little awkward, but he didn't dare to say anything. He just explained, our Yellow Earth High sect is in the western region. It's normal that Senior Lin hasn't heard of us. Oh, what's the matter? Lin Yi asked even though he already knew the answer. It's like this, Senior Lin. Earth Diamond Star hurriedly told Lin Yi about Earth Tyrant's injuries, including how he was using the Great Return Pill to extend his life. He didn't hide anything and said, I heard from a friend that Senior Lin is a powerful person and has a way to treat our young sect master's injuries. What do you think? That Earth Tyrant was arrogant and despotic. He deserved to die. You can leave. Lin Yi waved his hand and started to chase him away. It seemed like Tian-chan had already paved the way for him. If Lin Yi didn't cooperate, he would be letting down Tian-chan's hard work. Senior Lin, although our Earth Tyrant's young sect master is young and arrogant, he isn't a bad person. Earth Diamond Star hurriedly explained, he's just young and this is his first time out to train. He doesn't have much experience. You know that he is the young sect master and no one dares to go against him. Everything he says goes. That's why he has such an aura. However, he is actually very pure and doesn't have any bad intentions. What does that have to do with me? Lin asked. I hope Senior Lin can save him. Earth Diamond Star gritted his teeth and said, why should I save him? We aren't related to each other and I don't even know him. What do I get out of saving him? Lin Yi shook his head. Moreover, saving him will consume a lot of energy. I won't save him. Don't, Senior Lin. Look, if you have any requests, just tell us. We will try our best to satisfy you. Earth Diamond Star hurriedly said. As for Lin Yi saying that it would consume a lot of energy, he naturally believed him. If it wasn't troublesome, anyone would be able to treat him. Do you think I look like someone who would need your help? Lin Yi said mockingly as he looked at Earth Diamond Planet. This. Earth Diamond Star gritted his teeth and said, our Earth Tyrant's young sect master has always admired the strong. If Senior Lin is able to treat his injuries, our young sect master might recognize you as his boss. This way, our Yellow Earth High sect will become Senior Lin's helper. What do you think? I have enough underlings. Every time they are in trouble, I have to help them. Do you think it's a good thing to have more underlings? Lin Yi rolled his eyes and said calmly. Lin Yi's words made Earth Diamond Star's eyes light up. Every time Lin Yi's underling was in trouble, Lin Yi would go and help them? That was great. In the future, if Earth Overlord became Lin Yi's underling, he would be able to look for Lin Yi directly. This was a great thing. The key was the attitude of the other members of the Yellow Earth High sect. From Earth Diamond Star's point of view, with Earth Overlord's personality, it wouldn't be difficult for him to become Lin Yi's underling. However, Earth Overlord was still the young sect master and not the sect master. Above him was Earth Tyrant's uncle, Tu Chingsong. Moreover, if Earth Overlord became the sect master of the Yellow Earth High sect in the future, the sect would definitely become Lin Yi's subordinate sect. It seemed like he had to contact Tu Chingsong about this when he returned. Earth Diamond Star didn't know what to say. Forget it, let me see if his injuries can be treated first. Otherwise, it would be nonsense no matter what I say. Although Lin Yi knew that he could definitely treat him, he still had to put on an act. Yes, Senior Lin please. Earth Diamond Star hurriedly made an inviting gesture and invited Lin Yi to his room. Lin Yi followed Earth Diamond Star to Earth Overlord's room and saw Earth Overlord lying on the bed with a pale face. Lin Yi walked over and pretended to check before saying, I can treat him. That's great. Then Senior Lin, when can we start the treatment? Earth Diamond Star was overjoyed. Did I say that I was going to heal him? Lin Yi retorted. Then why are you here? Earth Diamond Star was stunned. Chapter 2885. There's no rush. When Earth Diamond Star heard Lin Yi's words, he knew that there was a way. He quickly asked, Senior Lin, how much do you need? I heard that your sect has a treasure called the Earth Essence Fluid? Lin Yi asked. We do have it. Earth Diamond Star's face changed slightly. This was a treasure of the sect. Lin Yi wouldn't want it, right? That's good. 2 bottles of Earth Essence Fluid and the method to use it. I can save your young sect leader. Lin Yi said. 2 bottles. Earth Diamond Star's face turned even uglier. However, for the sake of the young sect leader's life, he still said, Senior Lin, I will ask our sect leader about your conditions. However, please wait for a moment. No problem. Go ahead and ask. Lin Yi nodded. All right, Senior Lin. If we agree to your conditions, you will definitely be able to cure our young sect leader's injuries, right? Earth Diamond Star asked. Who said that he would be cured? I only said to save him. Lin Yi said indifferently. Is this different? Earth Diamond Star was confused. Of course it's different. Saving him only means to revive him. He doesn't need to rely on the Great Restore pill to maintain his life. He can live like a normal person. However, curing him means to heal all the meridians in his body so that he can continue to cultivate. These are 2 different concepts. Don't mix them up. Lin Yi waved his hand and said, How can I cure him? Earth Diamond Star couldn't help but smile bitterly. Senior Lin, why don't you tell me all your conditions? I will ask the sect leader. I can save him. However, the healing of meridians is limited to the people around me. For example, my family members and brothers. I will not provide such treatment to outsiders. This is because it will consume a large amount of my true qi. I will not accept any conditions. Lin Yi said resolutely. This. Earth Diamond Star was slightly taken aback. However, when she thought about what the heavenly silkworm transformation had told her about Lin Yi's personality, she realized that it wasn't surprising at all. But this wasn't a problem. As long as Tuaba was alive, then he could pester Lin Yi to be his boss. Wouldn't he be able to heal him? Therefore, Earth Diamond Star's top priority was to consult Tu Qingsong. Thus, he said to Lin Yi, All right, Senior Lin, please wait a moment. I'll consult our Yellow Earth Sect's sect master. Lin Yi waved his hand. Earth Diamond Star walked out of the room and gave Tu Qingsong a call. Tu Qingsong's call was quickly connected. Tu Qingsong had been worrying about the local overlord during this period of time. This was his only nephew, and also the only direct bloodline of the Yellow Earth High faction. Although the Yellow Earth High sect wasn't small, there weren't many direct bloodlines. This was related to the inheritance of the Yellow Earth High faction's bloodline. There was a large amount of Earth element in the Yellow Earth High faction's bloodline. Logically speaking, this was an excellent Earth attribute physique, and it was very suitable to receive the Earth attribute comprehension inheritance. However, because male cultivators couldn't comprehend the inheritance, only female cultivators could. Therefore, the male cultivators of the Yellow Earth High faction's bloodline were very miserable. If they didn't step into the heaven stage before the age of 20, their only fate was to wait for death. Although the Earth attribute essence could extend the lifespan of a heaven stage Earth attribute spirit beast, it could only extend for 5 years each time. When they reached the age of 30, they could only die quietly. Moreover, heaven stage Earth attribute spirit beasts were very rare. Even if the Yellow Earth High faction kept one in captivity, they couldn't often extract its blood. Otherwise, the Earth attribute spirit beast wouldn't be able to bear it and would die. Tu Qingsong's father left the Yellow Earth High faction because 2 unexpected guests visited him, and his whereabouts were unknown. Tuaba's father died young because he didn't step into the heaven stage before the age of 20. Tu Qingsong only had one daughter. When she was young, she left with Tu Qingsong's father because of that unexpected visit. Afterwards, there was no news of her. After that, Tuaba became the only continuation of the Yellow Earth High faction's bloodline. Therefore, how could Tu Qingsong not be worried? Although Tu Qingsong was now in his prime and it wouldn't be a problem for him to have another son, the key problem was that it would be extremely difficult to nurture another heaven stage before the age of 20. Diamond Star, is there any news? How is your contact with the Heavenly Elixir sect? Is there any hope for Toba? Tu Qingsong quickly asked after picking up the phone. There is. Earth Diamond Star quickly said, Sect Master, I went to see the Heavenly Elixir Sect's young Sect Master, and he introduced me to someone. As he spoke, Earth Diamond Star told Tu Chingsong about Lin Yi's matter, the matter of him asking Lin Yi to treat Tu Ba's injuries, and the conditions that Lin Yi had set. After listening to Earth Diamond Star's words, although Tu Chingsong was excited, he was, after all, the sect master of an ancient sect. He instantly calmed down and fell into contemplation. Although the conditions that Lin Yi had set seemed a bit outrageous, asking for 2 bottles of Earth Essence fluid, relatively speaking, Tuaba's life was more important. However, if Lin Yi could restore Tuaba to normal, then it would be fine. The problem now was that Lin Yi only saved Tuaba's life, but he didn't treat him well. Tuaba's meridians were still crippled, and Lin Yi didn't offer any other conditions in exchange for treatment. The only feasible solution was for Tuaba to become Lin Yi's underling, so that Lin Yi could help treat him. This was the reason why Tu Chingsong was hesitant. Being the underling of a large yellow Earth High faction wouldn't be good for his reputation, and secondly, Tu Chingsong didn't want to be under someone else. However, face and reputation couldn't be compared to Tuaba's life. Tuaba was the only bloodline descendant of the Yellow Earth High faction. Tu Chingsong didn't want the bloodline of the Yellow Earth High faction to end because of a bit of face and reputation. Although the nephews of the other elders in the sect weren't bad, and there was no lack of materials to nurture them into young sect masters, the Yellow Earth High faction would lose the qualifications to inherit the power of the Earth element. An ancient sect without an inheritor would be a second-grade sect in the future plan. Tu Chingsong didn't want the Yellow Earth High faction to fall from its pedestal. A lone cultivator has so much power? Tu Chingsong pondered for a moment and asked, the everyday sect actually doesn't dare to touch him? It seems like it. Even the young sect master of the Celestial Silkworm sect said so. I'm afraid that this Lin Yi isn't an ordinary person. Earth Diamond Star said. Lin, the lone cultivator. Tu Chingsong frowned. Why does this name feel so familiar? But I can't remember. Chapter 2886. This surname isn't common in the Western region. Let me think. Tu Chingsong slapped his head. Could it be him? Tu Chingsong's memory wasn't bad. He suddenly recalled something and exclaimed in surprise, scaring the Earth Diamond planet on the other end of the line. Gate Master, what is he? Do you know Lin Yi? Earth Diamond Star was confused. He didn't know what Tu Chingsong was talking about. Lin Dong. That's right. When that person brought Ran away, he told father that Ran would train with Lil Yi and the others. Could it be him? Tu Chingsong muttered to himself without answering. Earth Diamond Star saw that Tu Chingsong didn't want to answer him and only said some random name. He didn't dare to continue asking and could only wait silently. Earth Diamond Star, later, asked that Lin, does he know Lin Dongfang? What's his relationship with him? Tu Chingsong finished sorting out the meridians and came to a rough conclusion. He then instructed the Earth Diamond Star. But although Earth Diamond Star didn't know why Tu Chingsong would ask this question and what kind of person Lin Dongfang was, he naturally had to ask since it was the sect master's order. I'll go and ask now, and we can agree to the 2 bottles of Earth Essence. Let him save Earth Tyrant first. After you ask this question, quickly relay the answer to me and I'll decide what to do next, Tu Chingsong said hurriedly. Okay, I'll reply to Lin Yi now. Earth Diamond Star nodded. Wait, you must be respectful and don't call him by his name, Tu Chingsong reminded. Don't worry, Gate Master, I'm just reporting to you. I always call Lin Yi Senior Lin in front of him. Earth Diamond Star startled. He didn't understand why the Gate Master was so concerned about this. Lin Yi didn't have the mood to eavesdrop on the conversation between Earth Diamond Star and his Gate Master. Although eavesdropping wasn't difficult for Lin Yi wasn't that kind of person. Are you done asking? Lin Yi asked calmly. Yes, Senior Lin. Earth Diamond Star hurriedly said, our sect leader said that he can give you 2 bottles of Earth Essence fluid. This is not a problem. Please save our young sect leader first. Okay. Lin Yi nodded. Do we start now? But when will you give me the Earth Essence? This? After we return to the Western region, how about we immediately send someone to deliver it to Senior Lin? Earth Diamond Star asked carefully. It's been too long. Send someone to deliver it now. Lin Yi waved his hand and said impatiently, besides, if you leave and don't give it to me, do you think I can go to the Western region to find you? I don't have the time. That works too. Earth Diamond Star had never thought of going back on his words. Since the sect master had already agreed to it, there was no way he would change his mind. Hence, he nodded his head and said, I will send someone to send it over by plane. Okay, then let's start the treatment now. Lin Yi nodded. By the way, when I'm doing the treatment, please wait outside. No problem. All right, Senior Lin, can I ask you a question? Earth Diamond Star asked. Oh, go ahead. Lin Yi didn't think much of it. May I ask, Senior Lin, do you know Mr. Lin Dongfang? Earth Diamond Star asked carefully. Lin Yi was stunned. You know him? Why are you asking this? This is what our sect leader told me to ask. May I ask what is your relationship with Mr. Lin Dongfang? Earth Diamond Star continued to ask. Lin Yi hesitated. He didn't know if Yellow Earth sect was friend or foe. But thinking about it, so what if they were enemies? So what if they were friends? If they were enemies, they wouldn't dare to do anything to him. They even had to beg him. Lin Yi could take the chance to extort more things from them. If they were friends, then he would at most help two Overlord recover. Lin Yi wouldn't suffer any losses. Thinking about this, Lin Yi said honestly, you can say that he is my grandfather. Okay, Senior Lin, then you can start treating the young sect leader. I will go out and hide. Earth Diamond Star nodded and prepared to reply to sect leader Tu Qingsong. Lin Yi was a little confused. Earth Diamond Star didn't say anything else after asking. He didn't even say if they were friends or foes. What did he mean? However, Lin didn't think too much about it. Maybe he had only heard of Lin Dongfang's reputation as a miracle doctor. Actually, even if Earth Diamond Star didn't watch, he wouldn't be able to learn Lin Yi's treatment method. It was just that Lin Yi didn't want Earth Diamond Star to know that he saved two overlords so easily. If that was the case, it wouldn't be worth it. So, after Earth Diamond Star left, Lin Yi didn't bother about two overlord. Instead, he sat at the side and started cultivating. After Earth Diamond Star left the room, the first thing he did was to call Tu Qingsong. Diamond Star, how is it? Is there any news? Tu Qingsong picked up the phone and asked quickly. Yes, there is news. Earth Diamond Star said, Lin Yi said that Lin Dongfang can be considered his grandfather. Hiss. Tu Qingsong took a deep breath. It really has something to do with that person. Previously, he thought that his imagination was a little funny and not very reliable. But now, it seemed that his guess was correct. What's wrong, sect leader? Earth Diamond Star heard that Tu Qingsong's voice wasn't normal, so he asked quickly. Nothing, Diamond Star. Think of a way to make two Overlord recognize Lin Yi as his boss. Of course, he must be sincerely convinced. He can't put on an act. Tu Qingsong instantly made a decision. If Lin Yi was really that person's grandson, then he had made the right bet. If he could form a relationship with Lin Yi, it would be the same as forming a relationship with those two people. Although he didn't know where those two people were now, there would be a day when they would make a comeback. Earth Diamond Star was stunned. He didn't know why sect leader Tu Qingsong suddenly made such a decision, but he didn't dare to ask too much. He only said, yes, I understand. When young sect leader wakes up, I will pass on your message to him. And if he doesn't listen, call me directly. I will talk to him. Tu Qingsong said. Yes, sect leader. Earth Diamond Star replied quickly. After hanging up the phone, Tu Qingsong's face flashed with excitement. If Tu Qingsong could become the underling of those two people, it wouldn't be a shameful thing. In the past, the everyday and everyday sect was proud of it. Others couldn't wait to be envious. Chapter 2887. Mr. Lang, how is it? You've taken all the goods from before, haven't you? You've started the transportation already, right? Tianli asked. Mr. Lu, I'm sorry, but there's a problem. Xiaochun's voice was very low. Oh, what problem? Tianli paused, but because the hypnotist's hypnotism was deeply implanted in his brain, he trusted Little Pure quite a bit. He didn't doubt her at all. It's like this, because there's a lot of goods this time, and the smugglers at the border have some objections. They didn't agree to the price we agreed on, and now the goods are stuck at the border, and we can't get through. It's really troublesome. Xiaochun sighed helplessly. Oh, how much do they want? Tianli understood. After all, the smugglers wouldn't have any objections if they kept the same price as before, as long as they weren't idiots. Another 200 million in tolls. Xiaochun said, Man, this time, it's a bit too much. It's not that much, but it's nothing compared to the value of the goods. Tianli's trust in Xiaochun had been hypnotized, but he still maintained the mind of a businessman. But the situation now is that I don't have a single cent of cash on hand, and I've mortgaged my property as well, so I can't get any more cash. I see. Xiaochun thought. It seemed like she'd squeezed all of Tianli's funds dry this time, and it was time to close the net. Then I'll discuss it with them again, and I'll do some research on my side as well, see if I can get enough money. Sure, I'll take a look on my side as well. If I really can't, I'll borrow some from my old friends. Tianli said, Once our cigarettes come over, we'll get it back with interest. That's true. All right, we'll keep in touch. Xiaochun said. After ending the call, Xiaochun turned to Jiang Wen respectfully. Master Wen, it's about time. I don't think Tianli has any more money left. Yeah, not even 200 million? It seems like he really doesn't have any left. Jiang Wen nodded. We can proceed with the final plan now. We'll screw him over. Yes, Master Wen. Let's wait a few days and see if he can still get the money, Xiaochun replied. All right, do as you see fit. Find a time and tell him about our plan. Then we can go home. Jiang Wen said. Donghai City, Qibing hid in the hidden house Zhao for a while and realized that the hidden house you didn't do anything to him. He breathed a sigh of relief and returned to the floating cloud bar. In fact, hiding house you was because of Yushan, and they didn't have the time to cause trouble for Zhao Qibing. At most, Zhao Qibing was just bewitched by Yushan, and Yushan was the true dirty linen of House Yu. They didn't even have enough time to cover it up, so why would they bring it up? So they let Zhao Qibing go. But as for the hidden house Zhao, House Yu didn't treat them as in-laws anymore. They completely broke off their relationship with them, and Yu Shaojin, naturally, became a sacrifice. Without the support of the hidden house Yu Shaojin became someone that no one cared for or loved. She lost her position in the hidden house Zhao, and Guangyin didn't have to look at Xiaojin's face anymore. Zhao Qikuan was regretting it recently. That time when Lin Yi came to the hidden house and threatened to break his legs, Zhao Qibing was afraid that Lin Yi would cause trouble for him because of Yuning, so he didn't come out and meet with Lin Yi. But now that the storm had passed, it was clear that there was nothing more to it. House Yu wasn't going to pursue the matter, and it seemed like Lin Yi wasn't going to pursue it either. Zhao Qibing was starting to regret it. Wasn't it better to come out back then? How good would it be if he came out, Lin Yi would break his legs for him. And so, the first thing he did when he got back to the floating cloud bar was to visit Lin Yi. As far as he was concerned, even if Lin Yi didn't agree, he wouldn't do anything to him in school. Of course, the most important reason was that Zhao Qibing wanted to find out more about Lin Yi. According to the time of the test, Lin Yi and Zhao Qikuan should be back by now, but Zhao Qikuan didn't appear at House Zhao. This made Zhao Qibing a little uncertain, not knowing if Zhao Qikuan was still alive or not. He wanted to go to school to see if Lin Yi was there. He didn't know that Lin Yi and Zhang Naipeo were delayed in the 5 malefic barons for a few more days. Zhao Qibing found Lin Yi's class easily and found Tiger Yu. Isn't this Master Bing? Long time no see, I heard that you've been hiding? House Yu and House Zhao's situation had been kept a low profile on purpose, but House Yu and other hidden houses still received the news. Huh, how is that possible? Why would I hide? Why would I hide? Zhao Qibing was a little embarrassed, but he was thick-skinned and didn't care, right? Have you seen Lin Yi? Didn't Lin Yi go to the Sky Elixir test? Tiger Yu paused. Judging from the time, he should be back by now. Did he die? Tiger Yu would be happy if Lin Yi died, but Lin Yi's presence pissed him off. He couldn't do anything about it. Once Lin Yi died, he would be able to hit on Han Jingjing without any worries. I think so too, so I came to ask about it. My Chiton didn't come back either, Zhao Qibing said. That unlucky brother of yours? Tiger Yu shook his head. I'm not sure. Why don't you ask Wang Xinyan and Han Jingjing? She might know. Wang Xinyan and Han Jingjing, huh? I'm not that familiar with them. Zhao Qibing wasn't that familiar with Wang Xinyan and Han Jingjing, so it was useless to ask. Then there's nothing I can do. Tiger Yu decided to stay out of this until he was sure that Lin Yi was dead. He had learned his lesson before, and he didn't want to be taught a lesson by Lin Yi again. It's fine, I'll go ask. Qibing had no choice but to walk to Xinyan's side, scaring her a little. What are you doing? Xinyan had seen Zhao Qibing before, but she wasn't that familiar with him. He was a scary person, threatening to break someone's leg at the slightest provocation. Xinyan didn't want to have anything to do with him. Hee, it's nothing much, actually. I just wanted to ask, is Linny back? Zhao Qibing asked. Linny? Why do you ask? Xinyan was a little cautious, not knowing what Zhao Qibing wanted. Chapter 2888. I don't know. Xinyan shook her head. I've been staying in the dorms these days and haven't gone back to Lin Yi's villa. I don't know either. I see. Qibing was a little disappointed. Then did Lin Yi contact you? Ask Meng Yao and Yushu if you need anything. I really don't know. Xinyan didn't dare to say anything, and she really didn't know what was going on with Lin Yi. I'm going to look for them. Qibing's mouth twitched. Meng Yao was fine, but Yushu reminded him of his skyscraper. This girl wanted to see his skyscraper collapse, and it really did. Qibing was traumatized. I'm going to study now. Help yourself. Xinyan didn't want to talk too much with Qibing. She picked up a book and lowered her head. Qibing had no choice but to go to the economics faculty to look for Meng Yao and Yushu. Meng Yao and Yushu, on the other hand, weren't as easy to find as Xinyan. Qibing didn't know where their classes were. There wasn't a fixed class sign in a university, unlike biomedicine, where they would always be in the same classroom. So, Qibing went to the economics faculty building and asked for the class timetable. He looked for the class according to the timetable, and when he found it, it was almost time for school to end. This was good though. He had more time to ask after school. Seeing Meng Yao and Yushu walk out of the classroom hand in hand, Qibing quickly ran over. Miss Chu, Miss Chen, long time no see. Zhao Qibing. Meng Yao was surprised to see Qibing. She didn't know what he was here for. What are you doing here? Miss Chu, it's like this. I'm looking for Lin Yi. Do you know how to contact him? Qibing went straight to the point. What are you looking for Shield Bro for? Yushu answered for Meng Yao. Zhao Qibing was most afraid of talking to Yushu. He purposely talked to Meng Yao to avoid talking to Yushu, but he didn't expect Yushu to take over the topic. It's like this, I asked Lin Yi to break my legs, he promised me, Qibing said, but it's been so long and he still hasn't fulfilled his promise. Yushu humphed, neither agreeing nor disagreeing with the idea. You don't believe me? It's true. Before he left for the test, he purposely went to our hidden house Zhao, but I wasn't home at that time, so I didn't make it in time. After I came back, the first thing I did was to find him. Qibing lied. When did I say I didn't believe you? Yushu asked. You mean? Qibing looked at Yushu hesitantly. Shield Bro actually told me before he left that I'd do it for you if you came looking for him to break your legs. Yushu said with a straight face. You. Zhao Qibing didn't believe her. He wasn't an idiot, he'd believe whatever Yushu said. He asked back, really? You don't believe me? Yushu narrowed her eyes, repeating what Qibing said to him. It's not that I don't believe you, I mean, Lin Yi might have told you, but do you know how to do it? Qibing smiled bitterly, not daring to offend Yushu. Fuck, why not? Yushu put her hands on her waist. Shield Bro taught me all the skills, I'm a professional now. Forget it, I won't trouble you. We'll talk about it when Lin Yi comes back in a few days. Chikuan didn't believe in Yushu's skills. This was no joke. Oh, you don't want to do it? Yushu narrowed her eyes and looked at Qibing with a smile that wasn't a smile. Don't regret it, I've been learning from Shield Bro for a few days just to break your legs, and I've broken quite a few trees already. It's fine if you don't want to fight, but when Shield Bro comes back, I'll tell him that you don't want to fight anymore, and he won't break your legs anymore. Shield Bro listens to Shu the most. Qibing's forehead was covered in cold sweat, blaming himself for talking too much. Why did he start a conversation with Yushu? Now, he was in a dilemma. If he didn't let Yushu do it, this girl would definitely say bad things about Lin Yi, and if Lin Yi listened to her, then he'd have no hope of breaking his legs. But if he let her do it, Qibing wouldn't be at ease. What if she couldn't break it? Hey, are you going to do it or not? If you don't, Yao Yao and I are going home to play. Yushu was getting impatient seeing Qibing's hesitation. Yes. Is it here? Qibing gritted his teeth and made his decision. He couldn't break it, and he couldn't kill him. He wouldn't die even if he tried, but if it really broke, then he'd be lucky. Let's go to the empty space downstairs. Find yourself a metal rod, Yushu said. Alright. Then you have to do your best and try to break it. Qibing reminded. Aya, don't worry. Why don't you trust me? Don't you know that I have a name called Professional Leg Breaker Shu? Yushu waved her hand impatiently. Hurry up and find a rod. I do have a rod. After going downstairs, Qibing waved his hand. Uncle Zhu, bring me the rod. Uncle Zhu was waiting for Qibing downstairs. He brought a metal rod with him just to see Lin. It was especially for Lin Yi to break his legs. Although Lin didn't use a metal rod most of the time, it was better to be prepared. Yes, Master Bing. Uncle Zhu passed the metal rod to Qibing. Alright, what do you think about this rod? Qibing passed the metal rod to Yushu. Alright then get ready. I'm going to hit you. Yushu raised the metal rod and looked at Qibing's leg, thinking about how to break it. Miss Chin, can you hurry up? I'm waiting here. Qibing waited for a long time, but Yushu didn't make a move. He was getting anxious. He had kept his chi barrier on, but this wasn't something he could control. Although he had improved recently, he still couldn't control it. Otherwise, he could easily find someone to break his leg. Aya, coming. Yushu raised her iron rod and smashed it on Qibing's right thigh, making a crisp bang sound. Chapter 2889. Why wouldn't I know how to hit you? It's your leg that's broken. Yushu humphed. Are you going to hit me or not? Can you not be so nosy? You're ruining my mood. I can hit you, but Miss Chin, can you break it? My leg is swollen, but it's not broken. Qibing said bitterly. Oh right, I forgot. Yushu suddenly slapped her head. Shield Bro told me to use Pinliang's mystical steel rod before he left. Yours isn't a mystical steel rod. Then why didn't you say so earlier? Qibing was speechless. He knew about Pinliang's steel rod too. It could break through the chi protection of any practitioner under Sky Class. He didn't use chi protection when Yushu hit him, but after the pain, he instinctively used it. So other than pain, Yushu didn't do any damage to Zhao Qibing. But the mystical steel rod was different. It could break through Qibing's chi protection, and this way, the damage from the rod would land on his body. Naturally, the damage would be severe. But when Yushu mentioned that Lin Yi told her to use the steel rod, Qibing believed her 70 to 80%. He'd thought that Yushu was just making things up to play with him, but now it seemed like that wasn't the case. You're blaming me for not telling you earlier that your own rod isn't good? I won't hit you anymore, Yushu raged. Please don't, just hit me, I beg you. Qibing panicked and quickly begged, let's go to your house now. Oh, seeing that you're so sincere about breaking your leg, let's go, Yushu nodded. Meng Yao was a little puzzled. Since when did Lin Yi teach Shu the secret to breaking a leg? But it seemed like Yushu was just messing around with Qibing. Thinking about it, it made sense. Lin Yi was out, and in order to avoid unnecessary trouble, they kept a low profile every day. They didn't go to school, and they didn't go to other places. Their daily life was monotonous. And now that Zhao Qibing came to their doorstep, Yushu wouldn't be Yushu if she didn't take the chance to mess with him. Alright, let's go then. Qibing's leg healed as fast as it hurt. It was just a bruise, he could take it. Qibing let Uncle Zhu drive and followed Mengyao and Han Jingjing's BMW X5M to Mengyao's villa. Is it okay now? Zhao Qibing got off the car and couldn't wait. He had been practicing 1,000 kicks for a long time, but he was stuck on the broken leg. He had been waiting for a chance, and now that it was here, he wouldn't let it go. It's already 6 in the evening, I need to eat. You might not be hungry, but I'm starving. Right, I haven't eaten yet, I need to get something to eat. Yushu said all of a sudden. You still need to eat. Qibing said helplessly, what do you want to eat? I'll get Uncle Zhu to buy it for you. Oh, that's okay, I want to eat the spicy soup and grilled squid from the commercial street. Get him to buy me 2 bowls of spicy soup and 10 skewers of grilled squid. Yushu had wanted to eat for a long time, but Lin Yi wasn't home. She didn't want to attract trouble, so she didn't eat. But now that Qibing was here for free, she wouldn't hold back. Oh, okay, Uncle Zhu, you go. Qibing said to Uncle Zhu. Even if Yushu wanted to have a big meal, he'd buy it for her. Who asked him to break his leg in such a hurry? Yes, Master Bing, Uncle Zhu said and drove to buy the snacks. Qibing, on the other hand, asked, Miss Chen, is it okay now? Okay, let's begin. Yushu found the steel rod and raised it, aiming at Qibing's leg. I'm ready, relax. You can protect yourself with qi. Okay, I know. To be honest, Qibing wanted the steel rod in Yushu's hand. It was a good thing. If he could get his hands on it, he wouldn't need to find Lin Yi to break his leg. He could just find someone else to do it for him. But it was just a thought. He didn't dare to take Lin Yi's stuff. Wasn't that asking for death? If he brought trouble to the hidden house Zhao, he wouldn't be able to handle it. Bang! Yushu's rod smashed over, accurately hitting Zhao Qibing's right leg. Ouch! Zhao Qibing screamed in pain. This time, he heard a crack sound and thought that his leg was broken. The pain was worth it, but when he raised his leg to take a closer look, his right leg wasn't broken at all. It was just that the bone was cracked. Hey, Yushu, what are you doing? It's not broken, it's just a fracture. Do you know how to fight or not? Zhao Qibing panicked a little. His leg, a fractured bone and a broken bone were 2 different things. A fractured bone was useless. I don't know how to fight, but you do? Why are you so nosy? Yushu wasn't happy. Are you going to fight or not? If not, I'm going to eat. I'll fight, but you have to fight properly. Qibing didn't dare to refuse. He braced himself and said, hit me again. Fine, you're too nosy. Yushu raised the steel rod and smashed it at Qibing's left leg. Bang! Crack! Another crisp sound. Qibing knelt on the ground. His right leg had just been fractured, and he didn't dare to use any strength. He only supported himself with his left leg, but Zhao Qibing thought that Yushu would still hit his right leg. He didn't expect that Yushu would hit his left leg instead. Ouch! Qibing screamed again. He was finally angry. Yushu, do you know how to fight or not? Right leg. Right leg. Not left leg, you hit the wrong one. Wrong one? Is that so? Yushu looked at Qibing confused. That's right, isn't it a set? Both sides are broken, there's no problem. Break your head, I want to break it, not break it. You're too lousy, Lin Yi broke it in 1 hit, your skills aren't good enough. Qibing was angry, but he didn't dare to let it out. Break your head, you dare say my skills aren't good enough? Yushu raged. She raised the steel rod and smashed it on Qibing's head. I'll break your head. Bang! Chapter 2890. Mengyao had been with Lin Yi for a long time, and she'd seen a lot of bloodshed. She wasn't afraid, but she didn't know whether to laugh or cry at Shu's actions. Zhao Qibing was screwed over. At that moment, Uncle Zhu drove back. He got out of the car with the snacks and saw Yushu smashing Zhao Qibing's head. He froze. This is... Oh, the food is here. Yushu grabbed the steel rod and ran to Uncle Zhu. She snatched the snacks from his hands and said to Mengyao, Yao Yao, we're going to eat. With that, she ran into the villa. Mengyao was helpless. She shrugged at Uncle Zhu. Hurry up and get him out of here. Master Bing, he's dead? Uncle Zhu was shocked. He's not dead, he's probably unconscious. Meng Yao knew the relationship between Uncle Zhu and Lin Yi, so she didn't guard against him. Uncle Zhu nodded and walked over to check Zhao Qibing's breathing. He breathed out in relief when he realized that Zhao Qibing was still breathing. He quickly brought him to the hidden house. Although Zhao Qibing's head and legs were broken, he was a practitioner after all. He woke up not long after returning to the hidden house. However, he had a splitting headache. His legs weren't the worst, but Yushu's strike on his head was quite ruthless. Even his skull was broken. Old Zhao came as well. He was speechless after hearing Zhao Qibing's story, but he understood how Zhao Qibing felt. It was good that he wanted to train 1,000 legs. It was Yushu's fault for messing with him. Uncle Zhu, on the other hand, wasn't punished. After all, it wasn't his fault. Zhao Qibing was the one who asked Yushu to hit him. It had nothing to do with him. Besides, he was sent out to buy snacks when it happened. You should take a small recovery pill. I'm afraid that it'll leave some side effects, old Zhao sighed and said to Zhao Qibing. But, Grandpa, aren't my legs broken for nothing? I was so close to breaking it. Qibing wasn't willing to give up. Otherwise, he would have taken the pill a long time ago. Uncle Zhu, you should have broken Qibing's leg when he was unconscious. Now that he's awake, there's nothing we can do. Old Zhao said helplessly. But how could I do it under those circumstances? Uncle Zhu smiled bitterly. That's true, you're loyal to Qibing, I know that. Forget it, Elder Mian. Give Qibing a small rejuvenation pill first, then we'll make plans. Old Zhao felt that things weren't going well recently, especially with Lin Yi getting stronger and stronger. To the hidden house Zhao, he was always a threat. However, he had no way of killing Lin Yi, and the other hidden houses were waiting patiently. This put him in a difficult position. How could they allow the other hidden families to band together and kill Lin Yi? Old Zhao began to think about the possibility of joining forces. He believed that no matter how strong Lin Yi was, he wouldn't be able to fight against all the hidden houses working together. Lin Yi practiced until nighttime. He got up and looked at Tu Xiaowang, who wasn't far from him. To Lin Yi, Tu Xiaowang's injuries weren't serious. These injuries were nothing. Lin Yi walked over and grabbed Tu Xiaowang's wrist. He activated the second stage of the art of dragon mastery and quickly healed Tu Xiaowang's injuries. However, he bypassed Tu Xiaowang's meridians. They were still the same as before. Of course, if it was the old Lin Yi, he wouldn't be able to do this with the first stage of the art of dragon mastery. However, Lin Yi could use the second stage of the art of dragon mastery with ease. This wasn't a problem at all. Tu Xiaowang used the Great Recovery Pill to prolong his life, and the nutrients he needed were more than enough. It was just that many parts of his body were damaged, and he couldn't wake up. After Lin Yi healed him, Tu Xiaowang woke up. For you. Tyrant opened his eyes, shocked as he looked at Lin Yi, who had just let go of his wrist. He didn't know where he was, but all he remembered was that when he hit Nai Peo, he'd been hit back with an even stronger force, knocking him out. Lin Yi said faintly, "All right, you're awake now. I should go." Wait a minute. You saved me? Tu Xiaowang was arrogant, but he wasn't an idiot. He knew how heavily injured he was. He was prepared to die because the Dehuan Dan didn't work. But now that he had woken up, Tu Xiaowang checked his body's condition. Other than his meridians being broken, he couldn't train. His bodily functions had returned to normal. This meant that someone had saved him. Now, Lin Yi was beside him, but Tu Xiaowang's follower Tu Xiaowang wasn't with him. This meant that Lin Yi must have saved him. Yes, but you don't need to thank me. You're not my follower. I don't have the obligation to save you for free. Your follower Tu Xiaowang already promised me 2 bottles of earth essence as compensation. Lin Yi said, "All right, I should go." But this... Tu Xiaowang had just woken up. His mind wasn't clear yet, but he could guess that Lin Yi was a master. He wanted to say a few more words to Lin Yi, but Lin Yi wasn't going to talk to him. He could only shut his mouth. Zhang Naipeo's lesson this time was quite deep. Tu Xiaowang knew that there was always someone better than him. He didn't dare force Lin Yi, someone who could save him. He needed to understand the situation first. Lin Yi walked out the door, and Tu Xiaowang, who had been waiting anxiously not too far away, came up to him. It was as if he was waiting for a doctor's family. Tu Xiaowang quickly asked, Senior Lin, how is he? He's alive. Linny said. Is he out of danger? Can I go in now? Tu Xiaowang asked carefully, afraid that he'd do something wrong. Of course, he's inside. You can go in and talk to him. Linny didn't know whether to laugh or cry. This isn't an operation, he's still in danger. Chapter 2891. If you're not afraid that he'll kill you, continue. Linny said faintly. That's... Earth Swishing realized that he'd gotten a little ahead of himself. He smiled awkwardly. There's no one here, right? Plus, with Senior Lin here, Zhang Naipeo wouldn't dare do anything to us. Ha! Linny didn't refute it, he only smiled faintly. I'm going back to my room to rest. Bring me the earth essence as soon as possible. Alright, Senior Lin, you should go rest first. Earth Swishing had wanted to talk more with Lin Yi, but remembering that Lin Yi had just healed Tu Zhanwang, he must be exhausted. It was normal for him to want to rest, so he didn't dare stop him. Lin Yi nodded and left. Earth Diamond Star, on the other hand, couldn't wait to enter Tu Tuo's room. Young head, are you all right? Zwishing, fine. My body's all recovered, but my meridians are still broken. Tu Zhanwang was alive, but he wasn't in a good mood. That's great. Senior Lin is amazing, he's a man of his words. Earth Swishing breathed out in relief after seeing Tu Zhanwang sitting up. Who was the person who saved me before? Tu Zhanwang was very curious about Lin. He didn't really care about anything else. Young master, you're talking about Senior Lin. Earth Swishing didn't need to hide anything from Tu Zhanwang. He told Tu Zhanwang everything that happened after Tu Zhanwang fainted, including him asking for help with silkworm transformation, finding Lin Yi, and discussing terms with the headmaster. That Senior Lin, why is he so strong? Isn't he afraid of offending Zhang Naipeo by saving me? Tu Xiaowang was filled with respect for Lin Yi after hearing the words. Someone that even his silkworm transformation couldn't handle had to be a master. It was just that he'd made an enemy out of Zhang Naipeo for no reason, and it wasn't worth it. There's something else I didn't go into. Senior Lin and Zhang Naipeo are enemies, and those Emo Ba and Emo Jio by Naipeo's side are all gone, one dead, one injured. It was all done by Senior Lin. Earth Swishing explained, Zhang Naipeo doesn't even dare to fart, evidently afraid of Senior Lin. So, Senior Lin doesn't need to worry about him. So strong. Tu Zhanwang didn't expect Lin Yi to be this strong. He was a black horse in this test. Which sect is he from? He's a rogue cultivator. Earth Diamond Star said, but I heard that a few direct disciples of the ancient era are his underlings. Sai, our Yellow Earth High sect doesn't have any relationship with him. If only the young sect master was his underling, he would even be able to repair your meridians. It's just that, unless it's someone related to him, he wouldn't waste any effort to help. If it's someone unrelated to him, he wouldn't help no matter what conditions he offers. We paid 2 bottles of the earth element essence this time, and all we got in return was to bring you back to life, young master. Freelancer. There were even minions from the ancient era? He can even repair my meridians. Tu Zhanwang was completely shocked. This person didn't sound like a normal freelancer at all. All his followers were from an ancient sect, and they were omnipotent. This was almost on the same level as 5 Elements sect. Yes, that's what the silkworm transformation young master said. It can't be false. Earth Swishing nodded. As for meridians, I had my suspicions before, but the great master didn't. Perhaps he knows something, so, as long as I call him boss, he'll help me repair my meridians? Tu Zhanwang suddenly remembered what Lin Yi said before he left. You're not my follower, I don't have the obligation to save you for free. Didn't that mean that if he became his follower, Lin Yi would repair his meridians for free? With that thought, Tu Zhanwang was a little excited. He wasn't calling Lin Yi boss just to repair his meridians. The main thing was that with a boss like Lin Yi, at least people like Zhang Naipeo wouldn't dare hit him anymore. Plus, Lin Yi was so strong, and would become the biggest helper of Yellow Soil sect in the future. Calling him boss was a very good deal. But Tu Zhanwang was a little worried about his uncle's attitude. After all, he was the young master of an ancient sect, and calling Lin Yi boss wasn't a big deal right now, but once he took over the position, wouldn't the entire Yellow Soil sect be Lin Yi's follower? That should be the case, but I'm afraid that Senior Lin won't take you in. Tu Zhanxing smiled bitterly. Even Tu Qingsong was hinting for him to make things happen between Tu Zhanwang and Lin Yi. Lin Yi was really capable, otherwise the sect master wouldn't have said that. But this way, it wouldn't be easy to call Lin Yi boss. Lin Yi had said that he had enough followers already, and wouldn't take in just anyone. It seemed like there needed to be an opportunity. Pester me with soft and hard tactics. Plus, didn't he ask for the essence of the earth element? He doesn't know how to use it, and only my uncle and I know this secret, so if he wants to know, I'll have to tell him myself. After a while, we'll get familiar, and I'll take the chance to call him boss. Tu Zhanwang said, but what I'm worried about is, how do I explain this to my uncle? Tu Zhanwang admired absolute masters, especially when Lin Yi defeated Zhang Naipeo. He was only worried about his uncle's side. That's fine. Tu Zhanxing nodded. You don't have to worry too much about the headmaster. He's already said that you can get closer to Senior Lin, young master. Everything is up to you. Did uncle really say that? Tu Zhanwang wasn't stupid, he understood immediately, but he was a little surprised. With his uncle's personality, why would he agree? Even if it was to heal his meridians, it wouldn't be that easy, right? Yes, if you don't believe me, you can call the headmaster. Tu Zhanxing nodded. There's no need for that. Why would I doubt your words? Tu Zhanwang waved his hand. He was just a little confused, but he didn't doubt Tu Zhanxing's words at all. He'd been with him for so many years, and he'd always been loyal. Chapter 2892. Now. Tua Xiaowang shook his head, a bitter smile on his face. Mr. Lin's acting like he doesn't want anyone to disturb himself. After saving me, he just said a few words and left, as if he didn't want to talk to me anymore. Then what do we do? Tua Xiaowang realized for the first time that making a young master of an ancient sect acknowledge a freelancer as his boss was a difficult thing. The difficulty didn't lie with the young master of the ancient sect, it lay with the freelancer. When is the person delivering the essence coming? Tua Xiaowang asked after some thought. Should be tomorrow. He's taking a private jet, so it shouldn't be long, Tua Xiaowang said. Yeah, tomorrow then. I'll explain to Senior Lin how to use the essence when it's delivered, and we'll see what his attitude is like when I call him boss. Tua Xiaowang said. Sounds good, Tua Xiaowang nodded. After leaving Tua Xiaowang's room, Lin Yi didn't go back to his own room. He went to Yang Qiqi's room and knocked on the door. Qiqi was talking to Lil 9 on the phone when the knocking came. Who would be knocking at a time like this? Didn't Lin Yi go treat Tua Xiaowang? Who is it? Qiqi asked. It's me, Lin Yi said. Ah. Qiqi quickly lowered her voice when she heard Lin Yi's voice. E9, bro's here. Let's talk later, I'll go open the door. Yeah. Lil 9 was a little dejected. She wanted to let Qiqi give the phone to Lin Yi, but thinking about it, what could she say if she gave the phone to Lin Yi? These years, her relationship with Lin Yi had become very distant, and it was just the kind of conversation between teammates. She didn't know what to say when she actually picked up the phone. Qiqi opened the door and blushed when she saw Lin Yi. Bro, you're here? Yeah, I just came out of Tua Xiaowang's room, so I stopped by. Lin Yi said, my name is Lin Yi now, E and Eagle are just code names. You can call me by my current name, I'm not really used to sure. Qiqi liked Lin Yi as a person, not the name Ai. It didn't matter what Lin Yi was called, he was still that childhood friend in her heart. But Lin Yi bro, your room's over there, and Tuo's on the other side. It's not like you're going in the same direction. Lin Yi didn't know what. Lin Qiqi felt a bit embarrassed. Lin Xiaowang. Xiaowang Yi's face. Lin Yi didn't mean it, but it made Qiqi's heart skip a beat. A flash of shyness appeared on her cool face. Does that so? Xiao Qi's so happy. Yeah, there's something even happier. The Earth Essence is coming, and there's 2 bottles. The Yellow Earth sect promised to send them over as soon as possible. Lin Yi said. Really? Qiqi was very excited. Linny bro, you healed that Tua Xiaowang? They're so easygoing, Joe can finally be saved. Not yet, he's just alive, but his meridians are still broken. Lin Yi shook his head. But they're already very happy. That's all. Chi-Chi was a bit surprised. Wasn't the Yellow Earth sect a little too easy to deal with? She just didn't know how important Tua Xiaowang was to them. Yeah, you should tell the 9th princess about this later. Let her be happy. Lin Yi came here to cheer Chi-Chi and Lil Jiao up. Linny bro, why don't you call her yourself? You have her contact anyway. Chi-Chi said. You know that I'm in contact with her? Lin Yi was a bit surprised. His contact with Lil Jiao was one way. This was the rule of the assassin organization. Logically speaking, Chi-Chi shouldn't know, but you're an assassin from the assassin group, right? As long as it's an assassin on a mission, they're all connected to Lil Jiao. It's just that a lot of people don't know each other, but Lin Yi bro definitely knows who Lil Jiao is. I forgot about that. Lin Yi couldn't help but smile bitterly. You won't blame me for not going back and contacting you, will you? Of course not. Father said that an assassin shouldn't contact his teammates with his original identity after a mission. If something happens to one person, it'll affect the others. That's why Lil Chi hasn't made up her mind to look for Lil Yi bro. Chi-Chi shook her head. Who would have thought that fate would allow Lil Chi to meet Lil Yi bro again? But now it seems that you're no longer an assassin, Lin Yi bro? You've stepped into the world of practitioners? Yeah, assassins are only limited to the common world. In fact, if it weren't for some people and things, I might never have had anything to do with the world of practitioners in this lifetime. But the people and things around me forced me to go against the flow and step into a higher plane. I don't cause trouble for them, but they cause trouble for me and the people around me. Lin said, just like this time, if it weren't for my name in the world of practitioners, no matter how much help Tian-chan gave us, there'd be no way the Yellow Earth sect would have handed over 2 bottles of the essence so willingly. That's true, I didn't think that Lin Yi bro would be this strong, no matter what you do. You've made a name for yourself in the world of practitioners. Lil Chi will follow Lin Yi bro from now on. Chi-Chi was even happier that Lin Yi had become stronger than her. Lin Yi knew Chi-Chi's personality very well. She looked cold and cool on the outside, but she was actually a girl who looked strong on the outside but was actually very fragile on the inside. She wasn't suited to be an assassin, and it was due to her parents that she started training as an assassin at a young age. Her path wasn't because she liked it. At first, Chi-Chi was a bit against it, but after getting to know him, Lin Yi could feel that Chi-Chi was training for him, and now, she was fighting for Lil 9. In the Ice Palace trial, in the practitioner's market, Chi-Chi had cried, showing the fragile side of her heart. Under this cool facade, Chi-Chi's strength came from a stubborn belief. Chapter 2893. This was a feeling that Lin Yi understood very well. Lin had been through this before, after all. Those backgrounds in the common world, on the other hand, were quite useful in the common world. For example, at House Kang's birthday banquet, dealing with normal houses that weren't even considered noble houses. But at the noble house level, those backgrounds were useless. This was also why Lin Yi had always been envious of people with good mentors. Even people like Kang Ming and Zhang Naipeo, who weren't important at all, had sky-class strength. How the hell did a hardworking practitioner like Lin Yi feel? But what could he do? He was tall, rich, and handsome, with a good master. Pills were like candy to him, and Lin Yi, on the other hand, had to go through a lot of hardships just to get one, and he was almost trapped under the cliffs of Wushuang Mountains during the test. It was a feeling of helplessness. But Lin Yi, on the other hand, had overcome all of this with much difficulty, finally standing at the peak of existence. Of course, all of this was thanks to the Jade Space and that damn thing, or else Lin Yi would have died a long time ago. As for Chi-Chi, Lin Yi patted her shoulder. Xiao-Chi, you can tell others that you're my sister from now onwards. Normally, no one would go out of their way to cause trouble for you. In this test, Lin Yi could see that he was in a very delicate position. No one dared to mess with him, or rather, no one wanted to mess with him, because the consequences would be too severe. This was why Lin Yi and Zhang Naipeo were able to coexist peacefully. Especially after the incident with Zhang Naipeo got out, Lin Yi's name was like thunder in the ears of the ancient practitioners. Sure, Yi bro used to protect me, and now he's protecting me again. Can I do whatever I want in the ancient level? Chi-Chi asked happily. You can bully the people who bullied you again. For example, tomorrow morning, you can occupy a few tables and stop them from eating, Lin Yi said. Okay. Lin Yi suggested casually, but Chi-Chi seemed to be paying attention. When Lin Yi got back to his room, Chi-Chi happily called Gio. The people from the Yellow Earth sect came quickly. It was unknown if Tu Chingsong had specially arranged it. In short, this disciple of the Yellow Earth sect arrived at the Heavenly Elixir sect in the early hours of the next day. It seemed that the power of the Yellow Earth sect was not weak. The private plane could take off at any time. Good timing. When Tu Ba Wang saw that the disciples of the Yellow Earth High sect had arrived, he was instantly overjoyed. He understood the principle of striking while the iron was hot, but if he didn't have anything in his hands, why would he strike the iron? He needed to be strong, didn't he? And so, after Tu Ba Wang got the essence, he came to the inn's restaurant early, ready to have a chance encounter with Lin. He'd then talk to Lin Yi about the essence, and after the meal, he'd go to Lin Yi's room or his own room to talk about it. When it came to the point of worship, he'd just kneel down and call him boss, and everything would be fine. Of course, Tu Ba Wang's idea was good, but he noticed something strange when he came to the restaurant. All the practitioners who came here to eat were walking out of the restaurant with their lunchboxes, and not eating in the restaurant. This made Tu Ba Wang very confused. Normally speaking, practitioners here didn't have the habit of eating in their rooms. There were no full-time waiters here, and the trash from eating in their rooms had to be taken care of by themselves. Everyone thought it was troublesome, and they could leave after eating in the restaurant. What was going on today? Why was everyone taking takeout? He was about to ask someone when he raised his head to see Zhang Naipeo walking out of the restaurant with a depressed look on his face. In his hands was a takeout as well. At the same time, Naipeo saw Tu Ba Wang as well. He froze. He knew how heavily injured Tu Ba was. How did this guy get better? How could he walk? Wasn't he unconscious? But as confused as Naipeo was, he didn't plan on asking anymore. He only looked at Tu Ba Wang once before leaving in a hurry. Naipeo's weird actions made Tu Ba Wang a little puzzled. Why was Naipeo acting like he didn't see him at all? He was the one who hit him, but he was here, perfectly fine. Couldn't he ask a few questions? In fact, Tu Ba Wang did want Naipeo to ask a few more questions. After all, if Naipeo wanted to cause trouble for him, Lin Yi would probably step in and interfere. He'd just been healed by Lin Yi, so how could he let Naipeo do whatever he wanted? This had to do with the face of a practitioner. He shook his head. If Naipeo didn't cause trouble, he wouldn't provoke him. Lin Yi wasn't an idiot either. Him provoking Naipeo and getting hurt again were two different situations. Tua Xiaowang hadn't even stood still when he heard an arrogant girl's voice. All the tables in this restaurant belong to me now. You're not allowed to eat here. Lin Yi bro and I are going to enjoy our time together. You guys buy food and go eat outside. The voice belonged to Yang Chi-Chi, of course. She'd bought some food and wanted to find a place to sit down when these practitioners chased her away with a cold glare. This time, Yang Chi-Chi was giving them a taste of their own medicine. Anyone who wanted to eat here was kicked out. Of course, some of them were innocent bystanders. Chi-Chi didn't go to their table when she came, or they had already finished eating and left, not meeting Chi-Chi at all. But they didn't dare say anything. Yang Chi-Chi and the others didn't know where they came from, but Lin Yi and the others did. This Lin Yi was the one who swept through the Sky Elixir sex test, and even Naipeo wasn't his match. Didn't they see Naipeo leave after buying breakfast? Who else could be a match for Lin? Thinking that it was better to avoid trouble, they all left after buying breakfast. Tu Ba Wang, on the other hand, couldn't help but smile bitterly at Yang Chi-Chi's domineering. This person was obviously very close to Lin Yi, and Tu Ba Wang couldn't afford to piss him off. But he didn't want to leave just like that. At the same time, his admiration for Lin Yi went up another level. Seeing was believing, and he'd heard about how strong Lin Yi was from Tuzhenxing. All he saw was Lin Yi's medical skills, but he didn't know much about Lin Yi's strength. Chapter 2894. At that thought, Tuo Xiaolong was excited. So strong. What kind of ancient sect could be this strong? They didn't even say anything, just a little girl, and these people wouldn't dare eat here. Tuo Xiaolong's imagination was running wild. If it were him instead of Chi-Chi, it'd be so much more fun and pretentious. He stood at the entrance of the restaurant and spoke to the participants, especially Nai Peo. All the tables in this restaurant belong to me now. You're not allowed to eat here. I have some things to discuss with Boss Linny, so you guys buy your food and go eat outside. Why, he was excited just thinking about it. Tuo had always been someone who liked to show off, and he didn't have many bad intentions. He just liked the feeling of being looked up to, and having Lin Yi as his boss could sweep away all the frustrations he'd faced before. But all the tables in this restaurant belong to me now. You're not allowed to eat here. HM? Chi-Chi was just about to shoo Tuo Xiaolong away when she saw that it was Tuo Xiaolong. She changed the topic immediately. You're Tuo Xiaolong? Yeah, sis, I'm actually Boss Lin Yi's friend as well. I'm his patient, so do you think I can eat here? Tuo Xiaolong asked carefully, his face thick. Chi-Chi turned to Lin. He was the one who gave little Nine the essence, but whether or not he could sit here was up to Lin. Chi-Chi didn't dare make the decision herself. Oh, Tuo Xiaolong, you're recovering pretty fast? You're here to give me the essence, aren't you? Lin Yi estimated the time. If Huang Tu had been a bit faster, it should be about time. Yeah, Boss Lin Yi is amazing, you know what I'm here for. Tuo Xiaolong said as he ran over to Lin Yi and sat down. Outside the restaurant, the cultivators who had not left all had strange expressions on their faces. Firstly, they were surprised that Earth Overlord had woken up. Secondly, he actually said that he was Lin Yi's patient? Could it be that Lin Yi had cured him? How was this possible? Wasn't Earth Tyrant's injuries so severe that even a third-grade Great Cyclic Pill had no effect on it? How could it be better? Of course, even though these people were puzzled, they didn't dare to ask. Why are you calling me boss? You are also not my little brother. Lin Yi glanced at local overlord and said indifferently. Lin Yi's expression didn't show anything special, but he had some doubts in his heart. The local tyrant actually wanted to recognize him as his boss so soon? What prompted him to make such a quick decision? He had only healed the injuries on his body and did not repair his meridians. Moreover, this was only a transaction. He had healed him and he had also paid the earth essence. It was extremely fair. Moreover, even if there was Tian Chan's mediation, it was impossible for an ancient sect's young master to make a decision so easily. Feng Shipian and Li Siba, on the other hand, had recognized him as their boss after witnessing his strength under special circumstances. Tuo, on the other hand, was different. He didn't understand why he'd come to him. Was it just to repair his meridians? However, Lin Yi knew that he was a very good judge of character. Lin Yi didn't see any utilitarian intentions in Earth Tyrant's eyes. On the contrary, he seemed to admire him very much. What was he admiring? Moreover, he had Earth Diamond Star by his side. If he casually recognized him as his boss, wouldn't Earth Diamond Star report to their sect master? Boss, I can't express my gratitude in words. Boss Lin Yi healed my injuries and brought me back to life. It was like I was reborn. So, Boss Lin Yi is like a second parent to me. However, if I call Boss Lin Yi Godfather, you definitely won't recognize me as your son. So, I'll settle for the next best thing and call you boss. Earth Tyrant said, what do you think? Of course, this is just a title. In my heart, you're my boss. It doesn't matter if you recognize me as your little brother or not. You're my idol, and I'm your fan. Cough, cough. Lin Yi didn't expect Earth Tyrant to come up with such a fallacious argument. Godfather? He really dared to call him that. However, Lin Yi could also see that this kid was sincere when he said these words. Therefore, even if Lin Yi was puzzled, his expression still softened. He nodded and said non-committally, where's the earth essence? I was so focused on talking that I forgot about the important matter. The Earth essence is here. As he said this, Earth Tyrant carefully took out 2 very small bottles from his pocket and placed them in front of Lin. Such a small bottle? Lin Yi looked at the pocket-sized bottles in front of him, a little speechless. This small bottle is actually just enough for one use, Earth Tyrant explained awkwardly. The Earth Overlord explained somewhat awkwardly, there is not a lot of this thing. The Earth Attribute Essence liquid is stored in a special way. Once the bottle is opened, it has to be used immediately. It will lose its effect after 3 days. Hence, it would be a waste to store more. So that's how it is. Lin Yi nodded and thought that this was similar to the spring water that old Lin and Air Gooden drank at home. Once the spring water was taken out, it would lose its effect after a period of time. Yes. Earth Tyrant nodded and asked, Boss Lin Yi, what do you want to do with this Earth Essence? The way to use this Earth Essence is a secret of our Yellow Earth High Sect. Only my uncle, the current leader, and I know about it. Even Earth Diamond Star doesn't know about it. Of course, Boss Lin Yi isn't an outsider, so it doesn't matter if you know about it. Lin Yi heard Earth Tyrant's words and thought it was funny. This guy was trying to get information out of him so that he would accept him as a follower. Of course, Lin Yi accepting Earth Tyrant wasn't a problem. Right now, Lin Yi basically didn't care about the Hidden House's power anymore. The next step would be the Ancient Powers. An additional follower would be an additional helper, so naturally, Lin Yi was happy to do so. However, this boss Earth Tyrant was suspicious. Lin Yi had to figure out this person's purpose and character first. I have a friend who has too much Earth element in his body, and he can't control or guide it. He needs the Earth essence and parts of an Earth spirit beast to treat him. Lin Yi didn't hide anything. After all, he had to explain this clearly to Earth Tyrant so that he could take the right medicine. Chapter 2895. This situation stunned Tu Jun. His eyes widened as he looked at Lin Yi in disbelief. Boss Lin Yi, are you serious? Why would I lie to you about something like this? Why else would I ask you for the essence? Lin Yi frowned. He didn't know what kind of expression Tyrant had on his face. Was it that surprising? No, Boss Lin, don't misunderstand. What I mean is, I thought that you had an Earth element friend who went crazy during training and needed the essence of the Earth element to mediate, but now it seems that's not the case. The situation you're talking about is very likely the Earth element inheritor that our Yellow Earth High Sect has been looking for. The situation you described is exactly the same as the Earth element inheritor. Tu Xiaowang quickly explained. Earth element inheritor? Although old Lin had mentioned this before, he wasn't very sure. Now that Tu Xiaowang had mentioned it, it was basically certain that Little Nine was the so-called Earth inheritor. At the thought, Lin Yi couldn't help but be wary. One had to know that the moment Xiao Xiao became the inheritor, Lin Yi wasn't very willing. Miss Rock Candy said that the inheritor had to do something dangerous. Xiao Xiao going to the Ice Palace and becoming an inheritor was something Lin Yi didn't want, but Little Nine was something Lin Yi couldn't just let go of so easily. And so, Lin Yi said calmly, I just want to know how to use this essence. As for the inheritor or not, I don't care. My friend won't be an inheritor. That's... Tu Jun realized that he was being a bit too emotional. This was Lin Yi, not anyone else. There was no way he could control the will of the person in front of him, so Tu Ba could only smile bitterly. Boss Lin, it's like this. If that person's condition is as you say, using the essence of the Earth element as a catalyst, along with the parts of the Earth element sky-class spirit beasts can provide the greatest amount of relief, but there's a flaw in doing so. The Earth element in your friend's body will disappear, and his body will become extremely weak. Even if you can extend his life, he won't be able to live for long. He'll die within 10 or 20 years. You're saying, is that true? Lin Yi was a bit surprised. Tu Tyrant's words were very similar to what Miss Crystal Candy said back in the Ice Palace. Lin Yi wanted to give Xiao Xiao the fire spirit's fruit, but Miss Crystal Candy stopped him, and now Tu Tyrant was saying the same thing. Of course, I wouldn't lie to my respected boss Lin Yi. Tu Jun. He sighed. I won't hide it from boss Lin Yi, but I came from the west to Central Plains not only to participate in the Sky Elixir sex test, but also to find an Earth element inheritor to bring back to our Yellow Earth sect. Tu Tyrant had another reason for coming here, and that was to find his cousin, Tu Ran Ran. However, his uncle, Tu Chingsong, had specifically told him that the matter back then was a little complicated, and that he had to be careful with his words. He couldn't mention it to anyone else, so he didn't even mention it to Lin. Lin Yi nodded. With the experience from last time in the Ice Palace, Lin Yi didn't think that Tu Ba was lying to him. Little Nine's situation might really be as he said. He was an Earth element inheritor, and had to accept the inheritance. Other than accepting the inheritance, is there no other way to solve the problem? Lin Yi didn't want to give up. Like what kind of arts? It might be possible if they trained from a young age, but from the looks of it, even if they're younger than you, Senior Lin Yi, they wouldn't be much younger, right? In terms of time, it's too late, at least not for us Earth element cultivators. Tu Xiaowang shook his head and said with certainty, I won't hide it from you, boss. If there was a solution, then the direct descendants of our Yellow Earth High School wouldn't be so few in number. Now, only my uncle and I are left. This is also why my uncle easily agreed to use the Earth essence in exchange for my life, because everyone in my family has left. Oh! Lin Yi was a bit shocked. Tu Jun. His family were all dead? Of course, Lin didn't doubt that Tu Jun. He only needed to ask Gu Xian to know if it was true. Don't be surprised, Boss Lin. Our family's bloodline is actually the same as the bloodline you're talking about. There's a large amount of Earth elements in our bodies, and we have to train in the Yellow Earth High Sex arts from a young age. Before 20, we have to step into Sky Class, or we'll face death. At that point, we need to use the essence of the Earth element and the body parts of an Earth element Sky Class spirit beast to alleviate the effects, but the effects vary from person to person. At most, it's 10 to 20 years of life. Tu Junwang said, but a Sky Class before 20 years of age. A sect can only raise 1 or 2 at a time, even if they do their best. After all, there's a limit to how many pills we can accumulate. It's just like how the everyday sect focuses on Zhang Naipeo, while our Yellow Earth High sect focuses on me. But, can't you guys become inheritors? Then why don't you accept the inheritance? Lin Yi asked curiously. The inheritors are all female. Male cultivators are unable to accept and comprehend the inheritance and cannot become inheritors. Our Yellow Earth High Sex bloodline is very special. Our descendants are all male. If we want to give birth to a daughter, we have to use a very complicated method. We have to spend a lot of energy and treasures in order to produce a female descendant. This is specially done to cultivate cultivators, said Earth Overlord. Why don't you guys get a female descendant to accept the inheritance? Lin Yi asked curiously. My uncle has a daughter, and she's also my cousin. This is something to be happy about, but... Tu Jun. He suddenly realized that he'd said too much. In front of Lin Yi, he didn't have his guard up and accidentally spilled the beans. What's wrong? Lin Yi saw that Tu Jun. He was confused. I'm sorry, Boss Lin. This is a family secret. I accidentally said too much. Tu Xiaowang said a little embarrassedly. Anyway, you just need to know that we tried, but we didn't succeed. Chapter 2896. That's not it. The success I mentioned before meant that there were other problems. Your friend will definitely be fine. By the way, is your friend a woman? Tu Xiaowang suddenly realized that he had overlooked the most important question, which was the gender of Lin Yi's friend. Was it a man or a woman? She's a woman. Lin Yi nodded. That is to say, after my friend goes there, she will definitely be able to receive the inheritance? That's right. Tu Xiaowang nodded. This is more effective than the Earth Essence liquid and the things on the Heaven Stage Earth Spirit beasts, and there is no danger. Then, is there any requirement for becoming an inheritor? For example, do you need to do one thing? Lin Yi nodded and continued to ask. Boss Lin, you also know about that plan? Tu Xiaowang was a little surprised and lowered his voice. In his opinion, it was impossible for Lin Yi to have access to the core secrets of that level. Even if Lin Yi was the boss of several direct descendants of the ancient sects, those sects were not one of the main participants of that plan. The Holy Fist Palace was not one of them, and neither was the ancient Feng family. They only knew about the future Heaven Stage Island plan, but they definitely did not know what these inheritors were used for, nor did they know what these inheritors would do. Yes, my concubine is called Feng Xiaoxiao, the Deputy Palace Master of Ice Palace, and also one of the inheritors. Lin Yi nodded. So it is not surprising that she knows about this. What? Boss Li's concubine? Tu Xiaowang was stunned. He did not believe that Lin Yi's wife was the Deputy Palace Master of Ice Palace, let alone a concubine. After all, Ice Palace was one of the most powerful sects among the ancient sections. The Heavenly Elixir sect once wanted to harm it, but they did not dare to do so. The Deputy Palace Master of such a sect that even the everyday sect did not dare to cause trouble was actually Lin Yi's concubine? But thinking about it, it was normal. The everyday sect also did not dare to do anything to Lin Yi. Didn't the young master of the Heavenly Elixir sect, the Heavenly Silkworm transformation, also say that he had no confidence in dealing with Lin Yi? Furthermore, Tu Overlord felt that there was no need for Lin Yi to lie to him. After a moment of shock, he said in admiration, "Boss is indeed the boss. You are not on the same level as us young sect masters. You are already on the same level as the sect masters and palace masters of the various ancient sections." Lin ignored Tu Ba Wang's flattery and asked, "First, tell me, are the Earth Element legatees going to do dangerous things in the future?" "Boss, don't you know? It's the same as what an Ice-type inheritor has to do." Tu Ba looked at Lin Yi strangely. How could he not know? "Do you think she would tell me if there was any danger and make me worry?" Lin Yi asked. That's true. Tu Ba didn't know about the things Lin Yi had done before. He thought that Xiaoxiao became the Vice Palace Master and became an inheritor, and then met Lin Yi and became Lin Yi's wife. That made sense. Xiaoxiao didn't want Lin Yi to worry, so naturally, she wouldn't tell him the details. She didn't want Lin Yi to worry, but Tu Ba was still a little confused. Why didn't she hide the fact that she's an inheritor? Wouldn't that make you less curious, boss? Inheritors can't lose their chastity. Do you think you should tell me? Lin Yi was trying to confuse right and wrong. Naturally, Tu Ba wouldn't be able to see through it. I forgot about that. I see. Tu Ba understood. Xiaoxiao was Lin Yi's wife, but she didn't want Lin Yi to push her down. She had to explain the reason. And so, Tu Ba nodded but still tried to probe. It's like this. Boss Lin Yi should know about that place, right? 5 Element School? Lin asked. That's right, 5 Element School. Earth Tyrant no longer had any doubts, and directly said, "This plan has been prepared for 1,000 years. The goal is to let a peak late-stage Heaven Stage Great Perfection cultivator set foot on the Heavenly Tao. The plan is actually very simple: metal, wood, water, fire, earth, mist, and ice inheritors, along with a 5-element practitioner as a medium to open up Sky-class Island. In truth, that's all I know. There will definitely be dangers during the process of opening, but compared to the rewards, these dangers are nothing. These inheritors and mediums all have the chance to go to Heaven Rank Island and become elites in the Tao of Heaven. Which of us cultivators doesn't want to step into that realm?" I see, but what about the specific process? Lin Yi continued to ask. This wasn't too different from what Lin Yi knew. The mediums were obviously Tagan Long and Tian Chan. But these 2 mediums couldn't be used anymore. What was 5 Element School going to do? I don't know the specifics. That place isn't public and we can't just ask. Although, as one of the leading sects, they only get a spot to step into Sky-class Island. In fact, 5 Element School is the most important part. Tu Ba said. What you said is about the same as what I know. It's all unimportant stuff. I don't know what the specific dangers are. Lin Yi shrugged. Only a few people in 5 Element School know about this. We can't do anything about it. Tu Ba said helplessly. If I could find out, I would have done it already. Well, in that case, I'll think about it and give you an answer. I'm not in a hurry to know how to use this earth essence. You go back to your room and wait for a while. Lin Yi said to Tu Ba. Okay, Boss Lin Yi, I'll go back first. I'll also go back and ask my uncle to see if he knows more. Tu Ba said respectfully. You haven't eaten breakfast yet? Tua Xiaowang had been talking to Lin Yi after he came in. He even forgot to eat breakfast, so Lin Yi reminded him. Tua Xiaowang, Tua Xiaowang. It's fine if I don't eat, but if boss wants me to eat, I'll eat a little. Tu Ba said and waved to Tu Jinxing, who was standing at the entrance of the dining hall. Hurry up and buy breakfast. Boss has rewarded me with breakfast with him. Lin Yi was a bit speechless. This Tuang was quite a talent after all, but now it seemed that other than the fact that he liked to show off a little, he didn't have any other flaws. Showing off wasn't a flaw either, since it was normal to show off when one had the strength. Chapter 2897. But she couldn't ask in the dining room with Tua there. Now that they were in the room, she quickly asked, Linny bro, what did Tuha say about the inheritor? She's that inheritor? Inheritor, I don't know much about it. Do you want to ask Xiao Xiao about it? Lin Yi saw the light in Chi-Chi's eyes and understood what she was thinking. No, I'm just a little curious. Big bro Lin Yi's mistress, is it that girl Lin Yi bro was carrying that time in Ice Palace? How did she become the vice leader of Ice Palace? Chi-Chi was a little embarrassed that Lin Yi had hit the nail on the head. I'll tell you then. Lin Yi nodded and told Chi-Chi about how he met Xiao Xiao, as well as the problem with her body, and how she went to the Ice Palace. You know what happened after that? I went to the Ice Palace to ask for the medicine, but when I met the sect leader, Crystal Candy, something unexpected happened. Lin Yi told Chi-Chi about what happened in the Ice Palace, and she couldn't help but be amazed. She didn't think that Xiao Xiao would have this sort of coincidence, becoming the vice leader and inheritor of Ice Palace. But this was a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. The good thing was that Xiao Xiao was saved, but the bad thing was that Xiao Xiao had to stay here and do things that she couldn't do. Chi-Chi could feel the helplessness in Lin Yi's voice. Back then, Lin Yi wasn't as strong as he was now. He didn't have the ease to deal with ancient sections. Of course, even now, Lin Yi wasn't much in the eyes of the Ice Palace. First, the Ice Palace was stronger than the Yellow Earth High Sect. Second, the Ice Palace didn't need anything from Lin. Saving Xiao Xiao and letting her accept the legacy was an exchange. Lin Yi making Ice Heart Jade Bone Pill for Xiao Xiao didn't really matter to the Ice Palace. Even if he didn't, Xiao Xiao would still be the inheritor, and Bingtang would still get a share of the pie in Sky Class Island's plan. Hence, this was also the reason why Rock Candy didn't put Lin Yi in her eyes. And so, Lin Yi had no choice but to let Xiao Xiao stay in the Ice Palace. There was no other way. Big bro Lin Yi, Xiao Qi believes that you can successfully make the Ice Heart Jade Bone Pill and give it to the Ice Palace to get Xiao Xiao sis back. Chi-Chi encouraged as she looked at Lin Yi. She had always been very confident in Lin Yi. I'll work hard. I'm prepared to get an Ice Heart Jade Bone Pill for this Sky Elixir test, but I don't know if the Sky Elixir sect will set any obstacles. Lin Yi's relationship with the Sky Elixir sect wasn't very good right now, especially with Kong Ming Ming there. That guy was the 8th elder, after all. If he said a few bad things about him in front of the head and young master of the Sky Elixir sect, the impression the Sky Elixir sect had of him would plummet. Plus, with his relationship with the 5 Elemental School, would the Sky Elixir sect really make him an Ice Heart Jade Bone Pill? Lin Yi didn't think that it was possible, but he had to try. Let's not talk about that for now. Let's talk about Xiao Jiao. Xiao Jiao's situation is similar to Xiao Xiao's, but there's a difference. Xiao Xiao only needs to practice the Ice Palace's arts and she can avoid death, but Xiao Jiao is different. Xiao Jiao must accept the inheritance to be able to live forever. Lin Yi said worriedly, but it's very dangerous for Xiao Jiao to do that. This is a difficult problem. No matter what, we should ask for Xiao Jiao's opinion first? I'll call her? Chi-Chi said after some thought. Yes, you talk to her. Lin Yi nodded. The first thing Tu Jinxing and Tu Jinxing did after returning to their room was to call the sect. This was a call from Tu Jinxing himself. Uncle, I'm Tu Jinxing. This was the first call Tu Jinxing made after recovering. It was too late last night, So Tu Jinxing didn't call right away. Tu Jinxing, you've recovered? That fast? Tu Qingsong thought that even if Lin Yi agreed to heal him, it wouldn't be something that could be healed in a short amount of time. It would take at least a few days or even a month. He didn't think that he would be healed on the second day. Actually, I was healed last night, but it can't be considered a full recovery. My meridians haven't recovered yet. Tu Jinxing shook his head. It was too late last night, so I didn't call you, uncle. That fast? Tu Qingsong's expression changed. It seemed that his decision back then was right. How could the young people related to those two not be strong? Healing Tu Jinxing's injuries this quickly wouldn't take too long for his meridians to recover. With that thought, Tu Qingsong quickly asked, Tu Jinxing, did she tell you what I meant? Uncle, you're talking about building a good relationship with Boss Linny? Tu Jinxing paused. He was just about to report this to his uncle, but he didn't think that his uncle would be even more anxious than him. That's right. You've already recognized him as boss? Tu Qingsong paid attention to the way Tu Jinxing addressed Lin. Not really. In the morning, I went to the restaurant to find him. This was what happened. Tu Jinxing told Tu Qingsong about how he shamelessly called Lin Yi boss in the restaurant. However, Boss Lin Yi didn't deny it. He didn't strongly reject it. That's good. Tu Qingsong was relieved. Tu Jinxing, you did a good job. This trip to the Central Plains wasn't in vain. Although you didn't participate in the Heavenly Elixir Sex trial, your harvest has far exceeded the trial. If you have a good relationship with Lin Yi, it may bring great benefits to our Yellow Earth sect in the future. Yes, I know. Tu Jinxing nodded. Uncle, have you heard of Lin Yi? Tu Jinxing knew Tu Qingsong's personality very well. He recognized Lin Yi as his boss only because of his admiration for Lin. He couldn't beat Zhang Naipeo, but Lin Yi could, and had even healed his injuries. These were all reasons why Tu Jinxing respected Lin. But these reasons weren't enough to move Tu Qingsong, to make him approve of the relationship between Tu Jinxing and Lin Yi. But now, Tu Qingsong was uncharacteristically approving, and Tu Jinxing was confused. Don't ask about these things. It's not good for you to know too early. It might not be a good thing for you to interact with him with a fearful heart. Tu Qingsong shook his head. Chapter 2898. In short, you don't have to ask. Just continue as before. Tu Qingsong didn't explain further. What happened back then had shocked the entire ancient sect. Although it had been a long time, many ancient sects avoided talking about it. Okay. Tu Overlord didn't ask any more questions after hearing his uncle's words. Instead, he changed the topic. Uncle, there's something important I have to report to you. What else? Tu Qingsong asked. The earth essence fluid that Boss Lin Yi asked for was not for an earth cultivator to use when they went berserk, but for an earth inheritor. Tu Overlord said and told Tu Qingsong about what he had discussed with Lin. Earth element inheritor? Tu Qingsong's pupils shrank, and his breathing quickened. Tu Overlord didn't know what it meant for Lin Yi to have an earth inheritor by his side, but Tu Qingsong immediately thought of what happened back then. That earth inheritor was very likely his daughter, Tu Ranran, who had been taken away by those two people. And Lin Yi was one of the two, Lin Dongfang's grandson. That explained why his daughter was with Lin Yi and they were friends. That explained everything. Back then, Tu Ranran was born in a special way. Because the bloodline of the Yellow Earth High Sect wouldn't give birth to a daughter, they had to use a special method. However, although Tu Ranran was born smoothly, she was weak and sickly from a young age. However, the Yellow Earth High Sect's mantra was targeted at male cultivators. Female inheritors would only start cultivating after receiving the inheritance. Therefore, in order to cultivate, Tu Ranran had to reach the minimum age to receive the inheritance. Then, after receiving the inheritance, she had to break through to the heaven stage before the age of 20 to be safe. As long as she successfully received the inheritance, there would be no barrier to breaking through. Breaking through to the heaven stage wouldn't be too difficult, but the key was that Tu Ranran couldn't hold on any longer. She couldn't wait until the age to receive the inheritance. Tu Qingsong and his father, Tu Wanghai, sought medical help everywhere for this matter, but to no avail. Just as they were about to lose hope, a traveling merchant who traveled between the Central Plains, the Western regions, and the Miao territory brought good news to the Lus Highness sect. In the Miao region, there was a divine doctor named Lin Dongfang. His medical skills were unfathomable, and he was worth a try. Tu Wanghai was overjoyed and immediately brought Tu Ranran along with the traveling merchants towards the Miao region. However, this divine Dr. Lin Dongfang did not have a fixed residence, and the traveling merchants did not know where he lived, so they could only try their luck at the market. Lin Dongfang had to go to the market for a period of time to treat patients from other villages. Hence, Tu Wanghai really met him. Lin Dongfang was a doctor in the market. Naturally, he would receive all kinds of patients. Although he could tell that Tu Wanghai was abnormal, he still followed the rules and checked on Tu Ranran's condition. However, after checking it out, Lin Dongfang let out a puzzled "huh." Seeing Lin Dongfang's expression, Tu Wanghai immediately asked, "Doctor, can my granddaughter be saved? Her body is abnormally weak, and there's no sign of life. I can't tell the specific problem, but it won't be a problem for her to follow me and live until she's 15. Lin Dongfang pondered for a moment and said, "Follow you?" Tu Wanghai was slightly stunned, but he understood Lin Dongfang's meaning. "Doctor, you mean that my granddaughter must live by your side before you can treat her?" "That's right. Her body isn't something that can be recuperated overnight. Her problem is very serious. I need to prescribe the right medicine. The medicine that I prescribe for each period of time is different. I need to tailor the medicine according to the condition of her body." Lin Dongfang nodded his head and said, "Then, doctor, can you come to live in our house? Don't worry, I will pay multiple times the consultation fees. All you have to do is to treat my granddaughter full-time. I will also compensate you for your other medical expenses. I will pay for your consultation fees every day. What do you think?" Tu Wanghai immediately said, "I can't go." Lin Dongfang said faintly, "If you want to be treated, stay here. If you don't want to be treated, you can leave." "Do you know who you were talking to?" Before Tu Wanghai could answer, one of his followers got anxious and wanted to kick Lin Dongfang's medicine stall over. They came from an ancient sect. No matter where they went, they were all high and mighty. Lin Dongfang was just a small Jianghu doctor, yet he dared to be so arrogant. This follower was naturally unhappy. "Tu Qingshui, back off." Tu Wanghai naturally knew that he couldn't defend Lin Dongfang at this moment. His follower was a little too hot-tempered. However, it was too late for him to stop. That follower was also a heaven-rank middle-stage expert. Even if he didn't use any martial technique, the speed of his kick was faster than Tu Wanghai's words. Just as he was about to kick Lin Dongfang's medicine stall away, his leg was easily caught by a hand. Going out to walk a dog is naturally good, but sometimes, a mad dog will spoil things. Lin Dongfang looked at Tu Wanghai and said faintly, "I will throw this dog away for you." After saying that, Lin Dongfang lightly raised his hand and Tu Qingshui flew out, landing heavily in the rubbish pile far away. Tu Wanghai was a little shocked. He looked at Lin Dongfang in front of him in shock. Just now, he had made a mistake. The person in front of him was actually an expert. Moreover, it was very likely that he was a very high-level physical expert. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to throw Tu Qingshui out so easily. Even if Tu Qingshui didn't use any martial technique, he wouldn't be thrown out so easily. "Doctor, I'm sorry. My follower was a little anxious. Please forgive him." Tu Wanghai quickly apologized. "You are right. When I go back, I will still punish him." Tu Qingshui, who had fallen into the rubbish pile, had already regained his senses. Only then did he realize that he was wrong. Yes, it was very likely that he was also an expert. He didn't use any martial technique, and the other party didn't use any martial technique either. However, when he was caught by the other party, he immediately used his true qi to struggle free. However, the other party still didn't use his true qi and threw him out. Then, there were only two possibilities in this situation. The other party was a very high-level internal expert, higher than his level. Or the other party was a very high-level physical expert. He didn't need to use the surrounding heaven and earth spiritual energy. Just by relying on the tyrannical strength of his body, he could ignore his true chi and throw him out. Chapter 2899. I'm in trouble, I'm in big trouble. If I really offend such an expert, he might just leave. What about Tu Ran, the little princess of the Yellow Soil sect? Who would treat her? Fortunately, Lin Dongfang didn't seem to have any intention of leaving. That's your problem. Lin Dongfang said indifferently. Yes. Tu Wanghai didn't mention these things anymore. Instead, he looked at Lin Dongfang anxiously. Then, my granddaughter's illness? She is a patient. A mad dog is a mad dog. Since I'm here, there's no reason for me to ignore her. Lin Dongfang was clear about gratitude and grudges. However, I've already given her the treatment plan. Either she follows me and I guarantee that she will live to 15, or you take her away. I'm afraid she won't be able to survive next year. This. Tu Wanghai immediately fell into a dilemma. He wouldn't feel at ease if Tu Ran stayed here alone. Tu Ran was only 2 years old. She didn't know anything and couldn't remember anything. As for Tu Wanghai, he was the sect master of the Yellow Soil sect. Naturally, he couldn't leave the sect and stay with Tu Ran. However, if he didn't agree, Tu Ran might die. Tu Wanghai felt that Lin Dongfang wasn't being alarmist. Many doctors had seen her and said that Tu Ran wouldn't live past 3 years old. Hence, Tu Wanghai was in a dilemma. Old man, do you want me to read your fortune for you? It's very cheap. Just 1 million. Just as Tu Wanghai was hesitating, a voice came from beside him. It gave him a fright. He quickly turned his head and saw a fortune teller dressed in Taoist attire beside Lin Dongfang's medicine stall. The stall of the person dressed in Taoist attire was very simple. There was only a small banner with the words, Ancestral Fortune Telling. No refunds. Only 100. Tu Wanghai saw that the banner only required 100 and was instantly angered. Do you think I don't know how to read? Only 100 and you want me to pay 1 million? What kind of person is the price? Forget it if you don't want it. Just don't regret it. The fortune teller dressed in Taoist attire shook his head and didn't mind. Only a ghost would believe you. Tu Wanghai snorted and turned around, ignoring him. If it was any other time, he would definitely teach this profiteer a lesson. But today, he was not in the mood, nor did he want to complicate matters. You're right. Even ghosts believe in me. The Taoist fortune teller nodded. However, Tu Wanghai ignored him and pretended not to hear anything. He treated this Taoist fortune teller as an ordinary swindler. However, at this time, an old farmer walked over to the fortune teller's stall. He respectfully handed over a $100 bill and asked sincerely, Mr. Mo, may I ask when it will rain? The melons in my field are dying of drought. If it doesn't rain within a month, I will take my son and daughter-in-law to work elsewhere and give up on our melon fields. Please give me a suggestion. Let's go back. It's going to rain today. The fortune teller called Mr. Mo said without even trying to predict the future. Is it going to rain today? That's great, I'll go back and wait for you. The farmer said with endless gratitude. You're welcome. This Mr. Mo was naturally Lin Dongfang's good friend of many years, Mo Kongwen. What a joke. Tu Wanghai was vexed and did not know what to do. When he heard such a huge scam, he immediately found a way to vent. It's going to rain today? How can it rain on such a sunny day? Do you think you're a weather forecaster? Rain on a sunny day? Drenching a tortoise? Old farmer, you've been scammed. Idiot, drenching a tortoise. I'll be drenching you in a while. The farmer looked at Tu Wanghai with disdain. He curled his lips and turned to leave. You don't know what's good for you. Tu Wanghai was infuriated. However, as an ancient-era cultivator, why would he bother with an old farmer? He could only shake his head gloomily. You don't know what's good for you. Tu Wanghai was infuriated. However, as an ancient-era cultivator, why would he bother with an old farmer? He could only shake his head gloomily. He was dissatisfied with this fortune-teller who took advantage of the situation and felt that it was a pity for the old farmer's stupidity. However, at this moment, there was a sudden boom in the clear sky. A sudden clap of thunder was heard, followed by a flash of lightning. Following that, a heavy downpour poured down from the sky, directly drenching Tu Wanghai's heart. However, at this moment, Tu Wanghai did not feel that he was unlucky to be drenched by the rain. Deep in his heart, he was deeply shocked. He turned his head and looked at the calm Mo Kongwen in disbelief. He suddenly came to a realization. "Sir, I'm sorry. I was rude just now. You're not as old as me. You don't have to flaunt your seniority in front of me." Mo Kongwen said faintly. "As for whether I was rude or not, there's no way to talk about it. You're not my customer. You can say whatever you want." Tu Wanghai was a heaven-ranked cultivator. He did not think that Mo Kongwen was faking it previously. This heavy downpour came without any warning. Even he did not notice it. It seemed like Mo Kongwen really had some skills. Therefore, Tu Wanghai immediately became extremely respectful. "Senior, in your opinion, I should now..." Mo Kongwen stretched out his hand and gestured with his finger. "Tu Qingshui, come out." Tu Wanghai turned his head and looked in the direction of the rubbish pile. "Don't play dead. I'll punish you when we get back." "Yes, Sect Master?" Tu Qingshui hurriedly climbed out of the rubbish pile and walked over carefully. There were still 2 broken vegetable leaves on his head, and it was raining. He looked like a drowned rat, and he was as pathetic as one could imagine. "Give me the checkbook," Tu Wanghai said. "Yes." Tu Qingshui quickly took out the checkbook from his backpack and passed it to Tu Wanghai. Tu Wanghai did not say anything else. He immediately signed a 1 million check and passed it to Mo Kongwen. "Senior, you see, if you hand your granddaughter over to old Lin for treatment, I can guarantee that not only will your granddaughter not die before she turns 3, she won't die before she turns 15. Mo Kongwen accepted the check and said casually, "Moreover, she will live to 100 years old and bring good fortune to your entire sect." Chapter 2900. If it wasn't for the sunny days and the rainy days previously, Tu Wanghai would definitely scoff at Mo Kongwen's words. But now, he didn't think so. Instead, he asked, "Senior, can you be more specific?" "Specific? This." Mo Kongwen said half a sentence and stopped. "Senior, here's 1 million. Tu Wanghai immediately signed another check and handed it to Mo Kongwen. The money was nothing to him. As long as Mo Kongwen's words were really useful, it was worth it. "All right, to tell you the truth, your granddaughter will find a good man in the future. Then, your granddaughter's life will become smooth sailing, and then, everything will go smoothly," said Mo Kongwen. "Oh." Tu Wanghai listened to Mo Kongwen's words thoughtfully. Although it was a little simple, the matter was very clear. Finally, Tu Wanghai nodded and said, "Doctor, my granddaughter can stay with you, but how can I find her in the future?" "If you want to find me, you can come to the market to look for her. If you can't find her for now, I will send her to a place that is more suitable for her treatment. 5 years later, when her condition stabilizes, I can bring you to see her, but you can't take her away. Otherwise, she will still die," Lin Dongfang said faintly. "All right." Tu Wanghai gritted his teeth and replied, "Doctor, can she live until the age of 16? As long as she can live until the age of 16, I can pay any price." 16 years old was the minimum age requirement for the Yellow Earth High Sect's inheritance. Only at the age of 16 could a girl comprehend the inheritance. Hence, this was also the reason why Tu Wanghai required her to be 16 years old. "No matter what, I will try my best, but I can't guarantee anything now." Lin Dongfang shook his head. "All right, doctor, do your best." Tu Wanghai could only do so. After all, this was the best solution at the moment. After settling Tu Ranran down and paying the medical fees, Tu Wanghai brought Tu Qingshui back to the Yellow Earth High Sect. This trip made Tu Wanghai sigh with emotion. He had never expected that there would be 2 masters in that remote place. In the blink of an eye, 2 years had passed. Tu Wanghai missed his granddaughter, Tu Ranran, and wanted to set off from Yaojiang again. But at this time, Two ruthless people suddenly appeared in the pugilistic world. These two people appeared without any warning. They just appeared out of thin air and swept through all the ancient sects in the Central Plains. They instantly killed a few Heaven Stage elites and gained the title of Vajra's Dual Fiends. Everyone in the Jianghu had their expressions change when they talked about them. These two people, under the banner of helping the Perfect Perfection Heaven rank late phase experts break through the Heavenly Tao, gathered all the Perfect Perfection Heaven rank late phase experts from the ancient sects of the Central Plains together. Of course, there were also many experts who were unconvinced. Why should they listen to his orders? However, the first stop of their journey was the Everyday and Everyday sect. Of these two people, one was fine after taking a blow from a peak late-stage Perfect Perfection master, while the other casually waved his fist and killed the Everyday and Everyday sect's patriarch, Mad Dragon Patriarch, who was at peak late-stage Perfect Perfection Heaven rank. That Mad Dragon Patriarch was the primordial spirit of the Mad Dragon Patriarch who had possessed Zhong Pingliang. Back then, he died tragically under the fists of these two ruthless people and became the first victim to be killed as a warning to others. Then, they went to the Holy Fist Palace and many other ancient sections. The Perfect Perfection Heaven rank late phase experts who followed them were fine. They promised to help them set foot on the Heavenly Tao, but after they set foot on the Heavenly Tao, they had to do something for them. Those who did not follow them went to the road to hell. Later, those Perfect Perfection Heaven rank late phase experts of the ancient sects, after waiting for the arrival of these two people, all welcomed them with smiles and offered to follow them. Legend had it that these two people were elites in the Tao of Heaven, and their words were naturally trustworthy. Some of the followers were willing, and some were forced to follow them. No matter what, they obediently followed these two people and left. Then, they were never heard from again. This matter was very strange. After they left, there was no news of them in Jianghu. Back then, Tu Qingsong's father, Tu Wanghai, took the initiative to invite these two people to the Yellow Earth High sect. Firstly, Tu Wanghai was worried about Tu Ranran's situation. Secondly, he had been stuck at the peak late-stage Perfect Perfection Heaven rank for too long. If he did not advance to the Heavenly Tao, he was afraid that he would die of old age. Tu Wanghai did not know if he could survive until the day when the Heavenly Island plan was launched, so he took the initiative to invite the two ruthless people, the twin killers of King Kong, to the Yellow Earth High sect. The Yellow Earth High sect was located in the West region. The two ruthless people were in a hurry and did not intend to come, but since they were invited by Tu Wanghai, they still came. The two people that other sects avoided like the plague were treated with incomparable passion by Tu Wanghai. There was no other reason, because one of the twin killers of King Kong was the miracle doctor who treated Tu Ranran, Lin Dongfeng. The reason why Tu Wanghai knew was that although he did not see the twin killers of King Kong with his own eyes, their portraits had spread to all the ancient sects. And Tu Wanghai naturally got one of them. When Tu Wanghai saw the familiar face of Lin Dongfeng in the picture, he was immediately stunned. What? That miracle doctor from Miaojiang was actually a Heavenly Tao master? No wonder he was able to cure Tu Ranran and throw Tu Qingshui away with a casual toss of his hand. As for Tu Qingshui, when he saw the portrait, cold sweat flowed down his back. He was extremely shocked. That year, he actually scolded a Heavenly Tao master and was not beaten to death. What a joyous occasion. This was simply a great stroke of luck. Lin Dongfeng smiled faintly when he saw Tu Wanghai again. The person beside him was Yang Qiqi's father, Lin Yi's master. He did not speak much and only nodded at Tu Wanghai. Tu Wanghai did not dare to neglect these two legendary Heavenly Tao masters. He personally welcomed them from 1,000 miles away from the sect. When he saw Lin Dongfeng and Mr. Yang, he immediately cupped his fist and walked up to them respectfully. Yellow Earth High Sect's master, Tu Wanghai, greets the two seniors. No need to be so polite, we are not strangers anymore. Lin Dongfeng waved his hand and said, "Did you ask us to come here because of your granddaughter, or?" You're tuning in to the Dreamy Chapters YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.